GG! The Mouthful Podcast is brought to you by GoodGame.rock, the most welcoming gaming community on Facebook. Visit us at www.goodgame.rocks.
Making pancakes. Making pancakes.
But you know, poor body.
Making pancakes. Making pancakes.
Going in and out, so I just want to make sure.
Oh no, I'm far.
Okay.
I'm just laying back. When it's time, I'm gonna get the mic like up here. And
okay.
Really,
I was just making sure it wasn't no technical issue.
Yeah.
Since I had a technical issue a moment ago with the stupid mic. So
No. Nobody's trying to steal my bitcoins,
all right, awesome.
for which I own 0.
Thank God for that, because that's a scam. It's a scam, bro.
I do own 6 NFTs though.
I still want to do that hot topic, dude. I still want to do it.
No,
I feel like it's you know, because part of me feels like the reason I don't want to do it is because I want to have a
base
decent
of
knowledge
research.
of it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
The sad part is that I have, and yet I still can't wrap my head around it. And I really think that
Because it's too.
that's
stupid
why.
to
Yeah, it's like,
comprehend.
well, that's the reason is because it's just utter bullshit. Right? It's just like the reason it doesn't make sense and I can't comprehend it is
It's
because
the realization that the humans have reached rock bottom finally, that the world is not what we thought it was. And I hear you, bro. I had that eye-opening moment. It was called the 2016 elections.
not to mention the
We've all
2020
been
ones.
there.
Yeah.
It's the realization. I mean, there's a moment. It's like a rite of passage. It's like the first time you beat your dad at chess, for example, or maybe at insert name of sport that you've been playing with it since you were a kid, and now you finally beat him, but now you feel very guilty for that somehow. It's like realizing that you got to pay your own rent now, because you live by yourself, and turns out all those things, the adult thing was a real thing.
Yeah. It wasn't just a funny meme or joke.
No, exactly. It was not. That's something old people do. That turns out, you don't have to be old people to have to do it. And it's when you realize that the world is substantially more evil than you thought it was. So that's the kind of like the point. That's kind of the same feeling that you have when you realize, like, holy shit, so many people are spending money on absolutely fucking nothing. It's hilarious.
And it's just like, and this is just a thing, and there's no like government entity coming in going, you guys are, and you know what it is? I'm convinced the reason there's no government entity is because the government can't even understand what the hell it is.
No,
so
exactly.
They can't bring up charges. It's like, how do we bring up charges? We don't really know what they're doing. Can we get involved when someone says, hey, this is worth $3 million, that some idiot buys it? It's like, is it whose fault is it? I feel like it's the idiot's fault. We can't protect the idiots. The idiots are just going to be idiots, right? It's like, what are you going to do? That's
the world.
The world we live in.
Yeah.
And with that, guys, welcome back. This is Arnaldo, a.k.a. Mad Dog. And that, of course, is David, a.k.a. Dream Twister. And this is The Real, episode 323 of GG's The Mouthful Podcast. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
I felt that, bro. I felt it like in the.
I needed it.
midst of
It was
the heart.
it was a battle cry of it's Friday. It's a Freaky Friday. Finally, it's like, oh my god. This has not been the most exemplary week, and thank God we get to. Yeah, no. Thank God we get to like sit back, relax, nothing about having to go to work the next day. For those of us that don't work on weekends, I apologize for the ones that do, but that's
Sir, I'm happy that you're off. I will be at my desk working on tomorrow. For a few hours.
Speaking of,
unfortunately.
holy shit.
However, I am so pleased that you're off and that you can enjoy. And I mean that literally. I'm not.
No,
I'm
that
not
means
being facetious or anything.
that means I can stay up too late and play. Maybe I don't know. I always say that I'm going to, but then I'm like,
because the week
it's not in me
the
anymore.
week that was just suddenly lands on your shoulder and you just go,
Yes,
yes,
exactly.
I need that
It's
rest.
like the week catches with you, and then you're done.
Yeah.
That's why whenever there's like a memorable game that keeps me awake at night, that's special. That is something that, because not a lot of games do that nowadays. Even the best ones out there, they're not making it.
No.
Like I'm like, the entire week, I'm like, I can't wait to have a good 6 hours, playing this. And then I could get to like hour 1.5. And I'm like, I'm done.
I'm done. Ooh, do I have something to say for that in the later segment? But I am excited for today because I was able to get something I haven't had in quite some time. And that, my friend, is White Castle burgers. Yes.
Oh shit!
Yes.
White Castle. Are those
Yes.
still around?
Those are still around.
Or did you
sir.
get them imported from somewhere?
Well, technically imported. Actually, I mean, one can say it was actually Uber Eats, but by my own son. He was heading out there with his friends today, and he was like, "Hey, I want to pick you up some." I was like, "Hell, the fuck yeah!"
Since I'm up here in Jacksonville, I want to make some White Castle for you.
Oh my
In
god,
Central Florida.
it's not close. That's for damn sure. It's not.
Yeah,
that
no,
so
I
far,
haven't
but
seen
it's
one
not close.
around.
No, there's one in Orlando. There's one in it's oh shit, I guess I should look where the hell that is. But it's actually here. It's about 40 minutes away from where it's like
From what?
International Drive. You know what I mean?
Oh, damn.
So
The
it's like,
tourist area.
yeah,
Of course.
exactly. Yeah, it's like to feed the
White Castle
tourists
is a
from the
tourist
north. Yeah, let's let them have what they're used to.
Yeah.
And leave the commoners of Florida with Crystal's burgers. You know, it's like
Crystals.
those nasty ass burgers. No offense to anybody who likes
Oh shit! Yeah, I like. I mean, I don't hate Crystal. Let's just say
I do. The moment dude, because you come down here, we're used to White Castles and White Castles. Oh man, dude, we used to do White Castles seriously. And then you don't find any. And then of course we look at the history, and apparently it's not allowed below the, I don't know, some weird line in the United States. Something happened, some territorial line that they cannot cross for whatever reason. I know, it's so weird. And which is why it's shocking that we just have this one White Castle, which is apparently always full. So it's like, if it's always full, what does that say? You have people who want White Castles.
there are franchising opportunities here,
Yes,
guys. Like, no,
but there's some, I don't know if it's mafia related, I don't know if it's government related, I'm not sure, but there's something about it. Nope, they can't get past here. So we get down here and they're like, oh, but there's crystal sliders. Yeah, they're just as good. I'm like, okay, let's give them a shot. We order crystals, and the very first time, I was like, I want my White Castles. I'm gonna have like 4 or 5 sliders. I order them, whatever. It's like, yeah, we gotta take a bite out of it, and there's that wonderful mustard flavor that I was not expecting in my.
That's
slider
right. They
at
do put
all.
mustard.
And I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Who the hell puts
yes.
mustard in their burgers? And don't be friend, I get it. I've had lots of conversations since. People are like, look,
people are weird.
People are odd, very odd. But apparently it's a thing down here in the South. And
mustard
frankly,
on burgers.
Yeah, I'm just like,
I like mustard for all purposes, but I don't think it goes with.
I love mustard. Yeah. I love like the stone ground brown mustard. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I love that shit, But
what if it's well, I was gonna say, what if it's like honey mustard? Like,
I like honey mustard too. Yeah, I like honey mustard as well.
No, but I mean like on a burger.
No.
Okay. I think I might have had that, but I don't want to. I probably don't recollect if I really have, or maybe it was Chick-fil-A. Maybe it doesn't count because it's Chick-fil-A.
Well,
Because
that's
that's
chicken.
chicken.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
chicken. I can have some. I can have. So there's something about chicken and a little bit of sweet, which is why I think waffles, chicken and waffles, is like brilliant. The most
Chicken and
brilliant.
waffles is
Yeah, it's like
fantastic.
so great.
Yes.
But yeah, man, it was such a letdown. I was like, this is definitely not White Castles.
No.
And then,
Yeah. No.
and then of course we learned, and on the second try, we're like, okay, please can I get those sliders with no mustard? Thank you.
Oh.
And even then it was just like, oh, these are not White Castles. And I don't know what it is White Castles does that's different, but it's just not.
I haven't been at a White Castle since forever. You know, honestly, all I can think of was little burgers that they'll put pickles on it. Like if it was, you know, like if like just one pickle, the burger will be the size of the pickle itself.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, thank you. Thanks for ruining my burger. Can I have some mustard, please?
Well, that's funny because I can swear, because I don't mind pickles on my burgers at all. But I can swear that up north, it didn't automatically come with pickles. Like you needed to request.
You need to. You see,
I feel like that was the thing. Now here, again, because we're in the South, and even those White Castles, we're in the South, and they just
all about the seasonings, putting crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's like just leave it. Just leave it with the onions, the burger, and the bread and the cheese. You know, and the occasional bacon. You know what I mean?
Occasional. that should be standard.
Well, true, but I mean, each of these sliders are costing me between 9 to 11 points each. So I'm like, okay,
yes,
that's Weight Watchers
points are very good though. They taste delicious.
They do, especially when they come in an abundance like that.
Yes, exactly. It's the more the merrier.
Yeah. So suddenly, oh snap, dude. Sir, entertain the folks. I need to get the charger because my computer's about to die. Shit.
Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. What we normally do is we go about what we've been doing, and then we talk about some news articles, and then we finish with the hot topic of the week. And this week, hot topic, I'm gonna let Mad Dog tell you because he told me and I kind of forgot because we kind of got a last minute there, but that's okay, you know. I'm gonna let him tell you what it's about.
All right, nailed it.
Mad Dog, I have a question. What is this week hot topic?
Oh, shit! Disappearing narrative.
Again, because I laughed through it and I don't think they heard you.
Oh, disappearing narrative.
Disappearing narrative. Yes. So, I know he put it on a message. I'm like, dude, I have 3 ideas. Pick one, and they all seem interesting, except for the one that I was not ready to talk about. I'm like, okay, let's go with disappearing narratives because it's something that I can definitely relate.
Yes. So if in case this is the angle we're sort of coming from. Big companies, big developers, I should say, they're putting all their chips into that live service basket, guys, like it or not. And if there's one thing that is always lacking when it comes to a live service game, it is a strong narrative. Why? Because that's not why you're there. You're there to hang with your friends, collect a bunch of loot, spend money because that's what they want you to do, for the record. And that's pretty much about it. So the narrative takes a back seat, and I feel like more and more as more companies move to this realm, right, to this thing. Sony's doing it. They 10 live services between now and 2025. They're already working on free to play games, which again, if it's free to play, it's about churning. You know what I mean? It's not about a narrative.
Yeah, it's about keeping you. And obviously, they're not gonna keep you with a riveting story that never ends.
Yes, exactly. Although there are the rare exceptions, from my understanding, even though I haven't played it. Final Fantasy 14 it was one of the best. It is a live service. There's money involved.
Dude, we're gonna have to. There's so much good vibe around that and the story and everything that I feel like at some point we're gonna have to bite
I'm
the
gonna have
bullet
to.
and just
Yeah,
try
I think
it.
so. I think so. And we obviously have to do this together because I'm gonna be totally lost. I don't know
Most
anything.
definitely,
I
yeah.
know the first thing about
Yes.
MMOs. The only one I played was what the fuck was it called? Tesla? Or no, it wasn't Tesla. What the fuck?
Terra
Terra.
Online. Yeah.
Terra. And let me
It's an
tell
action
you,
RPG. Yeah.
no fucking clue what I was doing for the hour and a half that I was playing. I had no idea. None.
Fetch Quest. That game was Fetch Quest galore.
It maybe was. I didn't fetch anything, so maybe that was my problem. Maybe I should have started fetching stuff.
Did you see? You were playing it wrong.
Apparently. Well, if it would explain what I need to do, there's menus upon menus and a bunch of other stuff, but nothing ever said, hey, go here and do this.
I remember that game. That's a Korean MMO, and back like I've never been a huge MMO player, but I like them. Like I played enough WoW to like be like says here, and I like Final Fantasy 11. And I kept seeing this one, and this game looked wild. This was 2011, maybe 2012. And because this was supposed to be like the first action-oriented MMO RPG that allowed you to move your character to avoid damage and situate yourself and actually like hit. Like now you see that everywhere, but back in the day, you guys got to remember that an MMO was played typically like, okay, you see a mob, you click on it, and now you click your attack from your numerical buttons on the keyboard, and they'll all be on cooldown. So it was all managing the cooldowns of each to attack, and you didn't even have to move your character because it didn't really position, like it really didn't matter. Like none of that stuff was taken into account. And this one made it very action oriented, which was perfect to play with a controller. And it looks so pretty. It just looks so beautiful. And dude, I was super excited to play that one. I actually played it when he had a subscription. I paid my $15 for a couple months at least, and then I realized that it was just that. It just looked pretty, but that was it. It was too.
It was all a ruse.
It was like for the most part, most Korean MMOs look like amazing. Like they put so much work into creating those worlds and making them very nice, to be in. But they're kind of shallow. It's almost like
it's by design though. It's by design because they're not. When you say shallow, you're looking for the whole package, right? You know what I mean? And it's shallow in the sense that it's not going to come with that narrative. Not always.
No.
And so
no.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. I didn't know what the hell was going on with Terra, but nothing of it. Not like outside of the gameplay did it catch me with anything. And
dude, you told me you started playing that. That was so weird.
I know.
I was like,
I know.
It would have made sense for me for you to tell me that you were playing like freaking FIFA, or something like that. That would have made more sense for you to be playing Terra.
Yeah, and you know me, I think you know me well enough that I will throw my feet into some random thing out of the blue. Yeah,
you'll dabble.
Just to say I gave it a shot, just to say I gave it a try. Pillars of Eternity, I played that.
That's true, you did. That's so not your type of RPG, but excellent narrative, But then you play.
Actually, that was pretty cool. Yeah,
you play one that it was like the epitome of like narrative, like driving narrative, and at the same time being one of those games, which was oh my god, what's the name of that? What is the name of this game that I'm trying to think that looked great? That you had like 6 or 7 different types of psyches that were trying to talk to you at the same time.
Oh yes. Fuck. Oh my god, that's
I know it
CRPG.
is
CRPG.
Welcome to the Holcina podcast. Disco Elysium. Yeah.
That game had a wonderful narrative. A
Yes, it did.
wonderful narrative. And I played the
Phenomenal
updated one,
delivery.
which by the way, I feel like we're getting to the hot topic here, but just real quick, I played the updated one, which had more voice acting moments. So it was way more fleshed out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like those things are going to fall to the point of the hot topic is I feel like those things are going to fall to the wayside the more popular these service games become, and they just eat everything up. And I mean, shit, look at fucking Ubisoft. And they just, the moment I saw what Skull and Bones, the new revealed
What they
Skull
were
and
going
Bones
for.
is,
Yes.
I was like, oh my god, this is another fucking live service with the whole show. I was like, completely turned off. Let me tell you, completely turned off. I was like, this, if you would not have called it, like, it could have just been a video that just popped up online and it just starts showing the stuff without saying what it is. I mean, this looks like a Ubisoft game just from the look of it.
Yeah.
It just has the Ubisoft look. Every little thing about it smelled like Ubisoft.
That's what they're going for. That is absolutely what they're going for.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But anyway, we will dive headfirst into that later on in the show. But first, let's go ahead and start with what we have been up to. Mr. Dream Twister.
Who, me?
Yes, sir. What have you been doing?
Okay. All right. Well, this week has been kind of crazy. And I mean, not crazy like anything bad happened, but more like so Prime Day happened.
That it did.
And I was excited because from Prime Day, I usually just grab something. It's like you wait for the year. It's that time. It's that time of year, and this time I didn't have anything planned, and I saw that they were, they had a really good deal on a CPU that was an upgrade for my computer. Not a crazy upgrade, but a decent one. It was for those in the know, it was an AMD 5900X CPU.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that one.
Yeah, exactly. It's faster than the 3900X, but
so I'm
the
told.
same architecture, right? So I go ahead and buy it, and I get it like the next couple of days, and I'm playing with it. I'm noticing, hey, this chip runs a little hot. I installed it. Did I install it properly? Because it's giving me some high temperatures, and I know it's a faster processor, but at the same time, it's almost like 10 degrees hotter, and like I don't like that. Also, it's not healthy, and it could be something wrong that I did. Maybe I installed it wrong or whatever. I grabbed the computer, I disassemble it, put it down, take up the processor, repaste everything, put it back in, try it. It's still it's still it works. Don't get me wrong, it works and it's stable and all that, but it's just running. It's running hot, and I can't, for the life of me, I can't find on the internet if this is what should be expected, because it looks. I mean, this thing is hitting like 70 degrees idle, doing nothing.
Wow. Just sitting.
And I'm like, or either that or my computer is hacked and it's like mining for Bitcoins for someone. Like, I don't know. But it doesn't matter. All of this is like, it's like, just filler to what actually really happened that got me, upset. Oh. And it has absolutely nothing to do with the processor itself. Although it's still there, it's still running hot, but whatever. I've given up all hope. Because the second time that I put it down and I messed with it and I repasted everything and I tightened the screws as hard as I could without ripping them out. And I raised my computer, and I was working on my desk, on my actual desk where I work, and I have my My monitor is a 48-inch LG OLED screen that I'm using as a monitor, basically. And I have my case, and as I'm raising the case up, I hit the fucking glass
Oh, snap.
of the OLED, and I fucking gouged the shit out of that screen.
Wow, bro. Where was the
And-
picture? I would have loved to see this. Not see it for anything other than just to have the jaw drop for the like, oh shit.
And it's I don't appreciate using the term love to say because
Yeah. You know what I mean.
I
wow, dude, that's crazy.
I like my heart sank. It is just and here's the thing. What gets me more upset. It's not even the money. Of course, it's the money, but it's not just that.
Yeah.
It's not the fact that I am looking at a screen that is otherwise a gorgeous screen. I mean, it's a fucking OLED, right in front of me, and it looks beautiful, except that fucking gouge that he had on that corner that I can tell is there, and he looks so nasty. And you're probably gonna look at it and be like, "Oh, dude, this ain't bad," but it doesn't matter.
No. I know, dude. No. I'm not on that end. I'm on the end that it could be. I will get up from the couch, which is clearly a good 10, 12 feet away from the TV, just because I think I see something. You know what I mean? And I go there, and it's nothing.
Imagine a piece of a hairline that you cannot take out. And when and the worst feeling is when, because it happens to a phone. Let's say you drop your phone, you have a beautiful pristine phone, beautiful OLED screen. You drop it by mistake, and maybe it doesn't break the screen, but it scratches it. You feel like shit. You still feel bad,
You can't unsee it. You will always see it.
You will always see it. Yeah. And you live on the edge because you don't put a fucking case or protections on your phones at all.
I put a case. I just don't put anything on the front of it. But I do have a case.
Okay. Let's believe him. He does have a case. He used to has his phone crazy. He will have his phone commando.
I have gone commando a few times with my phone. Yes.
And we'll be like, what are you doing? He'll be like nonchalant with his phone. And it looks beautiful because, of course, that's the way that it was meant to look, But anyway, when you scratch your phone and you feel bad because now, I mean, you can't unsee it. You just can't unsee it. Imagine the monitor that I'm using for work and for play and for having fun, and it's right there, and it's a hairline, but it's a hairline that I can tell you if suddenly there's a bright, like if I move a browser window or anything that is bright, it'll show, it'll remind me like, oh motherfucker, look what you did. And the worst thing is that I should have known better. My case, the computer case it's aluminum. It's aluminum, and it has sharp edges. Why in the name of holy fuck am I messing with it on the desk instead of putting it, I don't know, on the floor or on a surface on a work surface that I actually have that I can work on in the garage? I could have cleaned it there. I could have worked on it comfortably. Like, oh no. For this project, for some ungodly reason, because I can't even think of it being laziness, because it probably would have been easier for me to work on it on the floor. But putting it on the desk, working on it, raising up, and just seeing that screen move, like it just told me, it just defined the rest of my week. because
Because you stare at it every day now.
I cannot unsee it. I am so upset that I did that stupid shit. It's like, and it happens. The thing that kept me at least composed, because you guys know me, I tend to I could rage a bit. The thing that keeps me composed is the fact that I live and will die by a mantra. And that mantra is that in this world, and you probably know it very well by now, that in this world, you have to pay the stupid people tax.
Yes.
Stupid people tax is unavoidable.
Mm-hmm.
All of us are going to do something stupid that is going to cost us. It's not going to be some random accident that it happened. It's not. No, it's going to be, the cost is going to be your stupid judgment at that moment. You did something, you picked wrong. You did wrong. Ergo, it's going to have consequences. And because you have nothing else to blame but your own damn self, you gotta pay the stupid tax. And needless to say, I went ahead and did. And yada yada yada. There's a new TV coming off on Monday.
Not surprised.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with this
Actually,
one.
the only thing I am surprised is that it's coming in on Monday. I figured you would have paid whatever it took to get it.
I was going to go to Best Buy today. The only thing is that
just get the first one that looks really good just to replace it.
Oh no, I was just gonna go. No, I know it's a replacement. I need to get it. It needs to be the same one or better quality, but better quality is gonna be more expensive. So I don't. I said I'm stupid. I'm not that level of stupid. You know, I'll be self-inflicted. Although I do see the C2 looks not. Anyway, it's just getting that. I was gonna go to Best Buy, but then I thought like that would just like I had a realization that that would just kind of make me realize that I'm crazy. You know, at that point, just like going to, like you said, like you just said, you expected me to just immediately just drop whatever and go and go to the first place and get it as soon as possible. Well, I did try to get as soon as possible on Amazon, but that was gonna be Monday, and I'm okay with that. And the reason I didn't go to Best Buy and grab it tonight and just have it installed and all that is because that would have just cemented the realization of I am too crazy and I need to stop. I'm like, I can fucking wait. You know what? Let this be my penance for doing shit like this. Next time, work on the floor, you dumbass. Don't use your
lesson learned.
lesson. Yes, absolutely, 100%. It's man. I was an expensive tax to pay. Also.
I'm sure. There are the stupid people tax, and then there's like, wow, that's a stupid people like. I don't know.
Yeah, no
injunction or some shit.
This is some sort of. This is when the stupid IRS
action suit.
Like you've been doing a lot of stupid stuff that you have not reported.
Yeah,
I need you to itemize here. Yeah. So I've been down for the last couple of days because of that, which have of course affected my ability to want to give a fuck about playing anything.
Because I am not staring at that screen.
I'm not staring at that
any longer than I have to for work.
That said, I did play a few things, and yes, I'm still playing Horizon Forbidden West in bits and passes here and there. Like I'm not in any hurry, on it. And quite frankly, I think I realized that I don't care too much for the tribal stuff of the game. And what I mean by that is the aspect of like this is this is post-apocalyptic, and apparently now we live in tribes, like almost like
This is
almost
the
mimiking Native American
post-apocalypse. Yeah,
back in the day.
post-apocalypse. Like this is
Post-
so post. It's like it's not like I always think of post-apocalypse like being Mad Max, right? That's post-apocalypse. Right? People are already living and doing stuff in after an apocalypse. Shortly thereafter, for some time. This is like hundreds of years past Mad Max.
Yeah.
This is like everything's regrowing itself, basically.
But we have machines that are that are like the beasts that roam the lands are mostly machines, but somehow we still don't know how to harness the power of even though they're literally there for the taking. But we still live like fucking caveman, and they have superstition. Like I love the way everything looks amazing. Everything looks stellar, like I've already discussed, but I don't like the setting, and unfortunately, there's not much I can do about about that. At this point, I'm already too many hours into it to realize. But I unless something significantly changes in the story and it opens something else like extraordinarily different, I don't think I care about a third aspect of it, nor do I think that there should be one. But of course, this is an IP. This is a successful IP, so of course there's going to be a Horizon 3.
I don't know. We haven't heard any
Too
hard
early.
data as
It's too
far
early.
as when it comes to sales and stuff like that. And I mean, lifetime of the first one eventually got really good, right? You know what I mean? Especially when they brought it to PC. But man, we haven't heard anything about this one. And they're quick, Sony's quick to say, quick to flash those numbers when they have those numbers. And
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling it's because they don't have those numbers. And we can talk about because they decided to release it next to the greatest game of all time, or you know what I mean? Or it's just, more of the same. But it's difficult to know.
No, I'm sure it did its numbers, because the IP is powerful. It is a good, and it for all intended purposes. I'm not saying that the game is bad or anything like that. I feel like I always have to do the same disclaimer.
I don't know why, bro.
I'm gonna stop talking about
if
it.
If they don't get it at this point, it's like, look, you guys obviously aren't listening.
Yeah. No, you like the first one? Play the second one because you're gonna like it too. Anyway, and I dabbled a little bit on Gran Turismo because it's Gran Turismo, and on Microsoft Flight Simulator because I was testing the new processor. Which, by the way, did I mention it runs kind of hot? Anyway, I did have the opportunity to, and I played this game, and I had a really good time playing it with with the person that I'm about to say. And I can't wait for us to play again. And that game is called It Takes Two.
Oh, nice. Nice. You got it. Nice.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I played a little, probably up to the boss fight, and maybe a little bit more after that. The first boss fight.
First boss fight. Okay.
Yeah.
The vacuum.
The vacuum. Yes. Actually, no. Then it would have been substantially more than that, because I think that is kind of early. I mean, that you kind of go to that first area where it's kind of tutorial-y, and yeah, you got to do the vacuum, or maybe he just fell long.
I know the feeling.
God bless. I love my wife. Like, you guys have no idea. This is a game that I sat down to play with her, and she's not a gamer at all. Like, she only likes Mario and Tetris. The only two games that she likes, and a bunch of mobile games that I've seen her play. But That's why I say she's not a gamer. No. She doesn't know how to handle the controller in general, and I think this game, it made me realize, first of all, how much hat down to your wife for playing this with you, and for you, for having the patient and taking her and helping her and getting her interested, because I don't think this is a game that is an easy pick necessarily for someone that is
player?
not a gamer.
Yeah, it definitely is not. And I remember telling that to my wife, which, by the way, she's out there playing Vanishing Ethan Carter, right now.
Oh, Ethan Carter? Oh my God!
She's out there playing that.
One of us.
Yeah.
One of us.
So, anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh no, I remember mentioning this to her because she has played a few things, you know what I mean, here and there. And I remember
she played
she played Journey. Yeah, she and finished Journey.
Yeah.
And Guitar Hero 3, I think it was.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Yeah. But that's a peripheral, it's just really getting used to peripheral. But anyway, I had concerns.
That's not a regular controller.
I had concerns. I was just like, I told her, I was like, I desperately want you to play this. I just don't know, because I heard that before we did it, and it's like, look, it's great if for couples, but don't think anyone could just walk into this game, because it is not that, bro. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was not thinking that it. Yeah. No. It's fine. I guess I imagined that it was gonna have its thing, and mostly it was gonna be like learning how to control, how to use the thumbsticks to control, controlling the camera and controlling movement. It's not an easy concept to immediately grasp. To us, it's already second nature. It's like whatever.
But that's because of, at this point, decades of playing it.
Exactly.
I mean? That's why. Yeah.
Right. No. This is. I mean, this you give it to a non-gamer, and it's either going to be one or the other. Either they're going to move the camera or they're going to move. And sometimes that means they're going to move with the camera still intact, still pointing at the same location. So it looks like they're strafing or it's the concept. And it doesn't matter. You can explain it. You can explain it. And then, okay, you try it. And it's not gonna be easy. And they're gonna move around suddenly, a lot, because it's almost like doing one of those things where you rub your belly and tap your head kind of situation.
And you nailed it. That's exactly what it is. Someone who could do it because they do it all the time. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, just randomly trying it. No, not so much.
Yeah, no. But given that we had a really good time with it, it's a very charming game. She was into the story, and aside from those moments where she will get to, she got frustrated, and I don't know. It's the very beginning of the area where you have to jump from the fan. From the slow moving fan blades.
Yeah. From one fan blade to the next fan blade that's moving.
Yeah. She dies so many times there. And of course, I was just sitting patiently waiting for her.
That's exactly. Yes.
It's like, you can do it. You can. She cannot get it, because you got to sort of time the blades. Time your momentum, the momentum of your jump with the blade, so that you land on it. And the moment I saw, I was like, oh shit, this is not gonna be possible for a while. And yeah, she was there for a while. She was almost like, okay,
I think I'm done.
I thought she was done. But she still she kept on going. She kept going. Eventually, we passed that, and the fight with the boss, I enjoyed it because I could already tell her what to do, and she kind of knew,
Yeah. That was I think was one of the secrets of our success was, okay, I knew what it like. If it was something I needed to do to go forward, I'd be like, okay, so what you're gonna do here is do a double X, and I also had to explain to her at some point, see, you don't want to do XX. You want to
Yes,
elongate the X. You know what I mean?
I
Yeah, yeah,
had to say,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
also had to because you also like double tap real quick, and then
Really
the
quick.
jump
Yeah,
will be short.
it would be too short. Yeah, yeah. So
Double
that's
jumping was
something.
also a concept that was a little difficult to grasp.
It's okay though. It's one of those things because of that. It's like once I explained a couple times, and then she just kind of got it at that point. Like I said, at some point it was just coming to her, and it's like, oh, it's so cool to see when you see it. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was the direction with the fans. I remember going, okay, I'll let you know when to jump. And it was timing it for like, all right, jump now. And sometimes it would, sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But after a while, like I said, I sat back. She just kind of handled it. It's I can't wait, dude. I mean, I don't want to. I mean, I don't want to force it or anything like that. But I just can't wait.
I honestly, we left it in. Oh yeah, we should play this again. Sometimes she's like, oh yeah, no, yeah, that'd be good. As far as the legitimacy of it, if we're ever going to again, like that's up in the air. I don't know. But at least I get to, I had the experience. I tried it, and so
it's a really good game, right? It's definitely a GG.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can see, like, yes, this game got, it definitely, got a bunch of awards. It definitely did very well, and with reason, with all reason. This is a great game. It's also smidgen challenging for newcomers. This is not something that this is not like a Nintendo will set up. Oh, this is if you want to play with your kid and your kid is invincible, and like you could do, it doesn't matter what they're doing. Yeah, they're just moving something on the screen, and that's enough to keep them entertained, right? This is not that. She kind of have to know the concepts and the things that she needs to do in order for me to be able to do my things, and you kind of have to know how to navigate the world.
Mm-hmm.
But we had a good time. We had a good time with it. And that's all I've been playing. Oh no, wait, that was we also played Dragon's Crown, didn't we?
Oh yes, we sure did.
Yes, we did.
The 2.0 apparently, because there's a whole game we didn't know existed.
Yeah, no, it turns out that just beating the game so that it gives you the privilege and the honor to be able to finally play with your friends, after how much did it took? Like
6 hours total.
Like 5 to 6 hours. Yeah. Like the fucking
throwing
nerve of the game.
Throwing to the time, figuring out how to do it as well. You know what I mean? Because it's like now that you've opened up network plays, okay, how do we get it going? Well, it doesn't tell you. So you.
It doesn't. Yeah, the game wants to be Dark Souls suddenly.
It doesn't want to hold your hand. It's like
doesn't want to hold your hand, and it want to be. Yeah. It wants to be Monster Hunter as far as the obtuseness of getting online. But we eventually got, we got online. And yeah, it's funny because it does feel like, oh, this is like everything you played for the first 6 hours. It feels like you get to the quote unquote end game, and oh no, by the way, now when you get to play with people, when you get to play online, this is where the real game begins. And I always fucking hated that.
Yeah. And that's exactly what it did, though.
But that's what that's how it felt.
Yeah. It's exactly. I mean, seriously, that's not even it's exactly what it did.
Yeah. I mean, you're still battling it out, but I think I described how this game was last week. I mentioned it, right? That's probably of. It's a side scroller, it's a brawler, kind of like Golden Axe. Yeah, I do remember saying that. Side scroller, kind of like Golden Axe, came out for PS3 in 2012, maybe, and then got re-released in 2018 for PS4. And you saw it at $4 last time on PSN, and you were like,
steal, bro.
I'm grabbing it. Yeah, this absolutely is a steal of $4. This is a good game. This is a fun game. I mean, if you are into like brawler type, titles, and it's meatier than the recent, brawlers that we have gotten, like we have gotten Streets of Rage 4 and the new Turtles, Shredder's Revenge.
Shredder's Revenge, yeah.
Yeah, like those recent ones. They're great, they're fun, but they are a little bit more on the arcadey side, and the progression is kind of simplistic on it. And this one, no, you're actually getting, like, I wouldn't necessarily call it fun loot, but you are getting different type of loot that alters your skill set. Or not your skill set. Sorry, the type of damage that you do. Your skill set, you do progress on it by buying, things that you could do, new movements that you could do with your character, and then you can power those up and all that. And it's an interesting set of characters. We already spoken about how the game is. It's very open about throwing you the waifus and the very overt sensuality here and there in the artwork. But overall, it looks very nice. It looks very pretty. We're playing together, and new element types opened up that we didn't even know existed. Like, we found ourselves at one point doing like a cooking mini game that neither one of us knew that it was there.
Yeah, because now that the adventure can stretch, like I assume you can just keep adventuring through each of the levels. If you end up getting, I guess you're powerful enough, at some point, it's like the way we are now on our level is like at some point we got to head back because we're gonna get
What he's explaining is that you could clear a level and then you could decide, hey, do you want to continue for larger rewards and points, or do you want to hightail it to and leave it here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and because of that, you could continue playing, but then you'll be going against stronger foes. It actually lets you select what you want to do. Some areas like even when you're replaying some areas, it kind of branches out in interesting ways. And I don't know. I like
the road now.
Yeah. I like it, man. I really enjoyed what I was doing suddenly, like, when you're playing that game solo, you can have the CPU, like, you can select other adventurers to come with you, and they're CPU controlled, and whatever. It's chaotic. It's kind of a mess. When you're playing with your buddies, though, now you're strategizing. Now you are, or maybe not. Maybe strategizing is a strong word, but at least you're not getting in each other's way. Let's
exactly.
say that.
Exactly. Like, if I see you heading towards one crowd, I'm going to go to the other crowd. So
yes, exactly.
We're handling what we need to handle instead of,
And all of that, it creates an environment that is fun. It's actually like, I want to play this game with at least 2 more people, because you can play up to 4. And evidently, if you like, randos could actually go into your game. Of course, there's not a lot of people that is playing this game nowadays, but we did had a rando joined us a moment while you were AFK for a while, and he just got grew tired of waiting, and he left. But when he left, his character suddenly got taken over by the CPU, and
which is good. That's a cool aspect of, because you guys sometimes you get stuck with those randos, and they're not doing it, and then they leave. You know what I mean?
They leave.
Like,
Exactly. At least you're not host.
Here, at least you have the character still fulfill its purpose.
Yeah. I think we are we're level 20-ish,
something like that. Yeah, we already got one of the gems or whatever, because once you go through the
stones,
game,
you need to collect infinity stones here, right, and we got at least one of them.
We need the infinity stones to get the mother boxes.
Yes, exactly. I am enjoying also the game is light on the on story, but it narrates it in a fun way,
Mhm.
you know, and like I enjoy following what's happening, even though it's not like superb or anything like that. It is still interesting. It is still like a cool little lore aspect that they throw in there, so you're not just like mindlessly doing missions for no reason. It justifies. Um, because it's narrated, sometimes they tend to stretch a little bit. Like the intro, it you'll be in the action and suddenly something appears, and and it gives you a bunch of text, and of course you gotta wait until they stop talking to press X and go to the next one, and or maybe they're skippable. We just don't skip, but
Maybe they are. I don't know.
yeah,
The
they
habit of
feel
not
slow.
skipping. So yeah.
Yeah, I have a habit of not skipping even things that I've already seen, unless it's I died and I need to get back to where I was. If it's on the same playthrough and I've already had the scene, I don't need to have it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, game's super fun, guys. And if you see it at $4 still on PSN, like just do yourself a favor, grab it. The game is phenomenal, and it's Dragon's Crown Pro, which is the updated version of it with your orchestra music and the 4K
Yeah.
display
Looks
and all
good.
that.
Looks really
Good,
good. Yeah.
good stuff. That is really it for games on my part. I have been watching a series, sir, and I always get the name wrong, just like I always want to call Horizon Journey to the West. It's not called that. This series is not called The House on Haunted Hill. That is a movie.
Yeah.
That's not what the movie. That's not what the series is called. The series is called The Haunting of Hill House.
That's the one.
So it's almost like I don't know. It's I had it all backwards. But the Haunting of Hill House, sir. My wife, she made me aware that you have watched this.
I did. Yes, I did.
Okay, all right.
All in
So,
one day.
all in one day. Holy
Yeah.
shit, that's not too much. That is just too much.
It made sleeping definitely difficult. That's for sure.
The Haunting of House Hill is a series on Netflix. It came out in 2018, and I hadn't seen it. And I guess I could describe it as horror drama or dramatic horror, or I don't know.
Yeah,
yeah. It's
because it's got dramatic moments, right?
Yes, and that's what I want to talk about. I really like this series. Let me tell you.
Nice. Okay.
You might think, oh, this is probably not gonna be your cup of tea because you're not into like scary stuff. A and B, it is episodes tend to run kind of slow,
Mm-hmm.
But I first of all, I mean, after Stranger Things, like I was ready for something else that wanted to be spooky in a fun way. Not, I don't want to see like fucking crazy blood and gore and fucking or stupid slashers or anything like that. No, I wanted something that felt at least like some thought was put into it, and this series, which basically tells the story without spoiling anything, because you guys don't have to worry about me because I don't know how to explain shit. Which it's about a family that move into this house that they intend to repair and flip it in the market, and apparently it's going to make them a lot of money. And I say it's a big family. It's mom and dad and like five kids, five because there's 5 kids.
Yeah,
mom, dad, and 5 kids. Yeah. And and it's one of those stories that it gets told from almost like it was in the book, where sometimes it'll flash you back and forward between when the kids were kids and the things that were happening, and then we'll flash forward to all of them being adults and coping with the effects of having lived in this house and the events that unfolded there, which I'm not gonna spoil. And the whole thematic of it is very interesting to me from studying that family dynamic. It's also very well acted, and its story, each chapter, even though the chapters tend to be slow, it's not the boring type of like, oh, just get to the next thing, oh, this thing is dragging too much. It's like you probably will feel it, Magda. You're more sensitive to these details, but to me, I really enjoyed the way that it was delivering the story, or it was trying to make me understand that the things that were happening, even though I had a little bit of problem at first with how it just jumped from past to the present, let's call it, and then going back to the past. And I found at first it was a bit jarring. Like I almost felt like, oh shit, it's fucking series gonna give me whiplash with how much it goes back and forth. It's like fucking crazy. But you get used to it, especially when you know who is who, who's, oh, this is, this person, this adult is actually the kid, and his name was whatever, or her name was whatever, and you start piecing them together. It's like then it becomes fun because you see they act like it's a very believable family, sort of dysfunctional due to the circumstances, because when they go into the house, they look like just one big happy family that they're just moving in, and they all have plan, and you see them walking in and be like, wow, the house looks like of course it's like a very fucking ancient castle looking thing that I'm like, nope, I would set foot or something like that. You're gonna tell me I'm gonna spend the night on this? Like, I already know this shit is haunted. Like, get the fuck out of here. I am not. Just by the look of everything, it's supposed to be like this very old manor. I don't know. The like I mentioned, I really enjoyed the acting of everyone, even though I don't recognize the only actor the only actress, I should say, I recognize here was Elizabeth Reeser, who she plays the mom and or a mom of Edward Cullen on Twilight.
Right.
So that I recognize.
Of course.
Yes. But I don't recognize the rest of the talent, even though like I thought they're really good. They or maybe they were very well written. I don't know. But even the freaking kids, if they were meant to be adorable, they were freaking meant to be adorable. It's like and if it was, and this is the thing that I enjoyed the most, if it's meant to be sad moments or powerful moments, like even the kids were on it, man. And the delivery was amazing. Again, in my opinion, having watched recently fucking, what was it, fucking Kenobi, and seeing how fucking terrible child actors and actors could be, but that's something completely different, obviously. But yeah, having experienced that recently, I can tell you that this, kids in this series deserve a freaking Oscar.
Well, one of
amazing.
them, to give a shout out to one that you probably don't recognize her because she's much younger here, but McKenna Grace plays a young Theo, which would be
Oh, Theo, yes.
yeah, and she was Egon Spangler's daughter or granddaughter in the Ghostbusters.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I did not recognize that. Okay.
But she has long hair here, so yeah.
Yes, she has long hair. Oh yeah, that's right. That is her. Oh, that's awesome because she was also one of my favorite characters on the on the show. Her young and old version of it. It's just like mad cool. And also Carla Gugino.
Mm-hmm.
Gugino?
Yeah, you've seen her before, I'm sure.
I
Oh,
because
yeah.
I'm looking at this series and literally telling my wife, honey, I apologize for the film, but this woman has to be one of the most breathtakingly beautiful actresses I have ever seen in my entire life.
You talking about Carla?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure she's probably yeah, I hear you.
Out of doubt.
Yeah.
Without a sliver of a doubt. And then I think that the funny thing is I've seen her and I've seen her in other things and I haven't been like gaga like this. And I think it's just the way she, I mean, she's the mom. She's obviously like, I don't know, she would have been 47 or 40. Don't ask me how I know this, please.
Yeah.
When this was recorded, I think I got curious because I was like, there's no way I could have, this person could have escaped. It's one of those people that you're like, oh man, okay, she is breathtakingly beautiful. She'll be memorable. She will have been memorable. And yeah, when I realized where I see it, I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck? That's her. It's like, really?
Yeah,
It's like, nah. Because you didn't look like that here on this. It's like, nah, it's not even the same person. Come on. Don't fuck with me. Like, come on. No, but in all seriousness, her role was fantastic. Everyone's on their A game, here, I feel, and the series has creepy moments, but it's not leaning hard on them, which is surprising because for the type of, I mean, the title itself will make you think that this is just like something like horror, and yeah, there's some kind of like creepy moments, but they're not horror. It's not that horrific. It's not fucking Hereditary,
Yeah, no. Very few things are.
It's not that. I mean,
that's how we always use that as the bar, right?
Yeah, that's the bar of fucking movie. Fuck me up, and I don't. The thing is, they're probably worse, and I just don't want to know about them because that was enough.
Yeah, I know.
It just fucked me up. Yeah,
I'd rather just walk into them by accident. I don't need to know. I don't need to go seek them out. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, yeah, you're right. It's funny how we put that as that. Okay, this is the high bar of like scary.
It is. We always so let's be real. Whenever we go, dude, and it's scary, and then the first thing is like, okay, so is it scary or like Hereditary scary? It's the bar, right?
Hereditary scary it's like it will fuck with your mind. The other ones are just like jump scares. It's like silly little things. It's like, no. Hereditary is like, oh no, you'll have nightmares.
Welcome to not sleeping for a while. Yes.
Yeah, you're not sleeping for a while. And the funny thing is that I also didn't think that movie was scary because it was smart scary. Yeah. It was not scary for the sake of, let me show you something
horrific. Yeah.
Horrific. Yeah. We're on discussing. Oh, yeah, let's not talk about Hereditary, please, because I wanna be able to move around the house at night with the lights off. No. So this one is it is creepy. It is, it has suspense. You definitely want to know what the hell is going on. What's up with this house and all the creepy shit that is happening. But at the same time, it is capable of, at least to me, deliver some emotional aspects. So it's like it's so weird.
It's like makes it a well designed show, essentially.
Yeah, it's a truly nice blend.
Yes, I agree.
You don't tend to put like horror and like like open the watershed, open the waterworks moments, together. But like it did very well. Like a couple of times where I was just, it was sad. It was just, and again, it's also not leaning way too hard. It's just a perfect balance. Oh, I am on episode 9. I think there is just one last one, and then that's it. And I'm hoping I could be wrong because I want to see more. And evidently there is another series that is called like The Haunting of Blime Manor or something like that.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one?
I saw the very first episode, and I don't know why I didn't continue that one. But
I intend to. I intend to go, even if I don't find it as entertaining as this one. It looks like it's very good for me. I like those type of it's scary, but it's not mind fucking. But it's enough of a mind fuck. You do want to know what's going on. It keeps you interested. You do want to know what the story is, and when it if it takes, like, it doesn't have to all the time, but I'm saying, like, if it throws twists and turns here and there, like, that's cool. Like, I enjoy that a lot. That there was a particular episode here that I like. My wife was like, I knew you were gonna like that episode. I'm like, yep. I fucking did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to know. I have a favorite. I don't know if it's my favorite episode, but there's definitely a favorite scene, and I think I know what yours is.
Yeah, but we gotta leave it there. We'll discuss after. Yeah. But my wife actually warned me, like, be careful when talking, because he might have seen the whole thing and you haven't yet. I'm like, don't worry, honey. I know he's well trained and he knows how to handle. he knows how to diffuse, how to handle me when it comes to like spoiler. He talks the proper. He uses the proper method. Because there is a proper method.
There is a proper
to deliver.
There's a method to the madness.
Yes, indeed, the madness. I'm done with my madness, sir. You can take. You know what? I realize I haven't finished watching the whole thing, but the whole thing have kept me so entertained so far that I'm a 3.5. This bitch. This is
very good.
This is very good.
Yes. Yeah. I think I land there overall also. But yeah, I'm glad you're actually. It's so not random, I guess, in that case, because I think
it was kind of random.
Well, it's out of the blue when you mentioned it. When it was like, I was like, oh, what you watching? You say that, I'm like, and no, really? Actually, you said House on the Haunted Hill, and I was like,
yes.
He said series, so
it can't be the movie. Yeah.
Hill House.
Yeah. I know I did it. Knowing me, my dyslexia will get the better me, and suddenly it's like, oh yeah, I'm watching the House Journey to the West.
Mm-hmm. But I'm glad you're checking it out, because it is. I think it is. I think it's good. I think it's actually really good.
You gotta give me, like, if you know that something is almost like that, like, hey, let me know. You definitely know what my triggers are, my turnoffs. Well, I will enjoy movies like that. And my wife keeps telling me, like, you should watch Dark, and I'm like, yeah, I know.
Oh my God.
That tells me the same thing, that I need to watch Dark.
She watched the whole thing of Dark?
She did.
Oh, respect.
Yeah,
Much respect. And
she
I'm
did.
and,
That's
and
why she's telling you. She's
she's
pushing
recommending
it.
it too, and I'm just like, oh, okay, good.
Yeah. Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
She's pushing
'Cause
hard.
that's her. She
Like
liked it. Yeah.
she's pushing hard. Like she knows that I will enjoy it. And I'm like, honey, I know for a fact that I will enjoy it. Don't get me right. It's just we started watching it that one time, and I think I don't know what it was, but I wasn't like mentally on it for it, you know. Like that's not what I wanted to to watch at the moment, and we kind of like stopped it like in the middle of the first episode. So
Oh
obviously
wow. Okay.
I gotta know what the fuck is happening. I don't know what
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
You ain't got
So
much going on there.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It
No,
sets up.
that one I definitely. Oh, I had, and I've already recognized. I'm not going to go down that road again, but I remember how even my wife and I, we were just like, "Oh, we need to get back to this. We need to get back to this, you know. But yeah, it's wonderful. It's complete 3 seasons, no more. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have your complete story.
Nice.
And none of that stupid thing like, oh, we can try to make no. That was the story they went as hell. You know what I mean? And so,
Yes.
well done. But yeah, as far as the Blime Manor, I feel like the first episode didn't do for me. That's why I only watched the first one, and I think it's just because I feel like on the first of Hill House, it introduced not all, but some of the mystery elements and maybe even spiritual or horror elements in it, and so that, but also a good story. So it also was like, oh, this is freaky shit. This is some freaky shit. You know what I mean? And but I'm like, no, I'm gonna keep watching. And I ended up watching all. I tell you, I think I gotten like something, the flu or cold or something like that. And
You told me you were sick.
I
Yeah.
was sick from something. I don't remember what it was, but and I got up. This is this is pre-pandemic, so my wife was in her office, which is now currently my mother-in-law's room. So she was just in there, and I just hit literally the 8 hours while she was working. I was just sitting there watching the entire thing. By the time she came out, she said, "What is this?" I was like, "Don't worry, you've already missed all of it." So,
so she hasn't watched it yet. Then.
No, but she doesn't do spirits. She just does not.
Oh.
She draws a line on that. Hello, you were there for her Hereditary. She spent most of the time in the damn kitchen or looking at her phone. You know what I mean? She does not do. So we watched here the Babadook, which is a horror movie, an Australian horror movie. And I was like, oh, we're gonna watch it. And it was me, Ed, her and Jackie. Her and Jackie are watching from the kitchen with the lights on while we're in the living room with the lights on. What the hell is wrong with
That's the funny thing. We all watch as a communal experiment. We all watch Hereditary together, and we got freaked the fuck out. Like imagine how fucked we would have been if we would have watched by ourselves.
Oh my god! Yeah, that'd be insanity. Anyway, so I have watched a bunch of stuff, but I'll get to that second because that's actually more my highlight of my week, and I'd rather end on a high note. So going to what I've been playing, obviously, as you mentioned, we played Dragon Crown Pro together, and that was a lot of fun, and that'll be our Tuesday joint for the foreseeable.
Yeah,
I don't think it's that long of a game anyway, but at least we'll get into that and get going, and I'm looking forward to playing more of that. I dipped into a game that, mind you, I did pay for on a sale, but I did pay for, and I heard okay things about it. Okay to some not good things, right? And this is, of course, a game called Empire of Sin, which is a 1920s. And that's the moment it called me, bro. When I first saw this trailer, I was like, okay,
that was a Mad Dog.
I am in 1920s.
1920s, the Roaring 20s, the year that you should have actually. Oh, you should have lived on the 1900s, so you would have enjoyed your 20s on the 20s.
You see, that's what I'm talking about. You see, we're here. So, and on top of that, it's a game that utilizes gameplay very similar to XCOM, which is your turn-based strategy, which I also do enjoy. Not my go-to when it comes to, type of games. They obviously are challenging for many reasons, but they're usually always well done. And the error that you're making most of the time, except for the occasional, miss shot from somebody that's standing right over there. It's like nothing blocking them, but sure, I missed a shot, whatever. We've all had
Sure,
those
it was my
moments,
fault, even though I'm like point blank.
yeah, there's nothing between
Decided
us.
to do a
Yeah.
stupid dice roll, but
Yeah.
whatever.
So I mean, this is the worst part. It's 87%, and I still miss. I'm like, what the fuck? What do I
my
need to
God.
be? Anyway, besides that. And so what did I like about it? I liked what it was trying to do. You pick among, I think, 10 or 12 different bosses. And then you become this boss who comes into Chicago and little by little takes over territory to become the leader of the Empire of Sin, basically. And so I ended up going with the Irish Frank something. I can't remember his name, but I ended up going with that. And it's like, okay, I like the voices. I like, okay, I like what's going on here. It's a little choppy whenever we have sit down. And now sit down is something where instead of, so you have different options. You don't always have to attack. You can do a sit down to maybe, unite,
Try to resolve it peacefully, diplomatically,
or try to unite. And because especially early on, you're the new dog. You probably only have a few brackets going. You don't want to challenge everybody. You know what I mean? You need to work with folks sometimes. And so you have that option, or you have the option to strike, and you actually hire other folks based on your notoriety. They become whoever. You can rename them the same way you could in XCOM, where you can just make them whoever you want. And it all, the gameplay, the main gameplay works the way it should for the most part.
Okay. All right. So far, so good.
Yeah, I really like the battles. I really like getting in, positioning my people to flush some folks out. You know what I mean? The whole thing that you normally do in that type of turn-based strategy. I really, and on top of that, it's in the 20s, the theme. Sometimes the music is going. It's got that weird 20s jingle, and I'm like, I'm down with that, and that's great. What's not great is everything in between those.
So here I was getting excited.
Yeah. So the issue is there is a real-time Chicago happening in the background. So when you basically own a specific racket, let's say it's a gin joint, or I think they call it a fucking speakeasy. Let's say you own this speakeasy. Well, it's gonna make money for you, but you also need to own a brewery or something that makes the booze for you, right? And you also need to have some security. All these things take money, so you need to make sure you're bringing money in. Now, all these calculations that are happening in real time. So every 10 minutes is a day. So in a day, if you make 600, you see cling, $600 profit. Obviously, when you hire folks, they're going to come in. They take 2 to 3% of your take is them. And
so that's not real time. That's accelerated then.
Okay, so then accelerate. But what I'm saying is, there's no way of actually stopping it. And I'm excited.
I see. Yeah, I understand. The decision you're trying to make was like this exactly. Yeah, there's no pausing or anything like that.
Yeah. It's constantly happening in the background. So you kind of have to keep. You gotta, as a player, have to keep moving and keep things going. You know what I mean? And so you need to move on to the next thing. Who are you going to send over here? What decision are you going to make over there? So it was a little much at first. So I was like, okay, let me stop. Because a lot of things happening. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I ended up getting YouTube video. It was like a 30-minute long video. It was like seven tips, to play the game, right? The things that it doesn't tell you, whatever. All right. So I go in, I watch this video, and it's fascinating. The guy, kind of breaks it down well. I'm like, okay, I got this. And one of the things he mentions is make sure to utilize the pause function on the world map. And I'm like, oh, that's probably what it was. I should have been able to fucking do that, because the chimes and the messages, and this person here is he's starting to lose loyalty because we haven't done anything in a week. And I'm like, it's been a week? When the fuck did it become a week? I didn't even realize the time flew by like that. You know what I mean?
20 minutes ago.
Yeah. I'm like, oh shit. And why are you losing loyalty or whatever it is? You're hanging out, dude. You're just making money. Shut the fuck up. What the hell? But anyway, you have these weird things, and you got to be careful who you hire. Who you hire can be enemies with somebody else that you already have in your crew, and you may have to work through that in one of the sometimes they're lovers, and if as a lover they die in a mission, by the way, that's permadeath. Yes, that's another thing.
Oh,
They're
shit.
gone for good.
Okay.
So if they die and suddenly that person could be heartbroken, completely disenchanted with whatever the hell's going on, and suddenly you can't fucking rely on him for shit. And so all that stuff is happening in the main fights and stuff like that, and in the menus and stuff like that. But in the world's just moving. People are walking. Things are going to happen. Your rackets may get attacked randomly, so you suddenly have to react to that. So what I realized,
it's like a very cool game so far.
Concept, right? The concept is, it's like, man, this is actually pretty cool. If only I could pause. And so it turns out, and why would you need pause? Wouldn't you need pause just to say, let me take a breath. Let me look at the map. Let's look where everything's at. Let's see where. Let's plan my next move. I can't plan my next move and look at the map at the same time.
No,
I can bring up the menu.
When things are happening that fast, at least slow it. If they would allow, like, if they wanted to keep the clock moving the whole time, then at least let me adjust the speed, like in SimCity.
Yeah, exactly. You can adjust the speed, make it slower, and speed it up if you need to speed it up. Right? It's like, okay, shit's not happening. Let's move shit along. I need to get to next week now. You know what I mean? Okay. Instead of throwing me next week and realizing I owe my crew because we've made nothing this week. It's like shit. I didn't know. So what I found out is the guy who he says use pause was playing on PC. The reason I can notice it because I see the little mouse pointer moving around, and he hits the pause button that's right at the very top of the map, and then he could just zoom out the map, look around, do whatever he's do. Nothing's happened. Nothing's moving forward because he has it paused. Well, fuck me, because that's just not in fucking the console version.
Wow.
No way we can pause it.
No.
Now
they forgot the pause feature, or is it DLC?
It could be DLC. The sad part is there is a pause. I can see the same button he's talking about, but I can't move a cursor or do anything up to get to it. And the only time it pauses is when I bring up a menu. But again, that just puts me into that menu. I want to see the map and have it paused so that I can plan my next move. Yeah. Instead, I can bring up the map, but now life is going on without me. It's just moving on. And I'm like, I can't take my time to strategize, if you will. And yeah, man, and so I looked up. I was like, am I missing something? Maybe there's a trick. Maybe I had to set the ABA or some weird shit that I have to fucking enter or some shit, and no. I looked it up. It's on Reddit. Everybody's like, yeah, no, it's not available on console. They don't have that option. I'm like,
that's fucking great. How do you mess that up though? How do you lose an entire feature that is integral?
And the guy mentioned it's like one of the 7 things was utilize the pause. You know what I mean?
Because you don't have a console. So basically, the console is the hardcore mode.
It's exactly. And so it stressed me out, bro. It stressed me out to the point where I couldn't stop stuff, and just new messages pop in every minute, and it'll ding, ding, ding. And like I was mentioning to you, it felt like work. That's what I deal with at work all day long. I'm trying to do 5 different things, and 12 messages time through because of something. Some of them are not me. It just happened to be in a team or something like that, or in a group, and they're just talking amongst themselves. But I still look. It still interrupts what I'm doing to look at it real quick. And so I couldn't, bro. I couldn't. I just couldn't.
Oh my god!
And I did look up stuff. How they said there was some improvements. It's still a little janky with certain things, but I can look past that if we can get to the turn-based gameplay and really get into the nitty-gritty of taking down this racket or whatever.
It sounds like an interesting. So, because I like I don't love games that are heavy on the managing aspects of whatever it is, but you can make that fun, you know. And I think one of the things that I mentioned to you was like, man, imagine if I don't know, Firaxis would have made, you
Would've
know,
made
this
Oh.
game. You put what you know about managing, in this case, your criminal empire, with the XCOM type encounters,
Encounters, yeah.
you know.
It
And I
would
call them
be-
XCOM. Like I honestly don't know if they are, you know, exactly like that or more or less, or if it just looks like that
very
because it's
no, it is exactly like that. Your character,
okay.
you can see who's next on the top, right? The order of
Right.
who's going to go. When your turn goes, you can walk a certain distance. If you walk a certain distance and you keep yourself within that distance, it'll allow you to do a second move, which can be to walk further or to do some sort of action.
Gotcha.
And that'll end your turn, right? And if you're behind something, it'll give you the half shield or the full shield to let you know you're completely behind cover or half in cover.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's
And
definitely that.
it's really simple. You have your Overwatch where you can set up
Mhm.
someone who can cover a specific area. Anybody who moves
Mhm.
within their line of sight, they'll fucking shoot at them. All the bits are there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The only difference is the overworld or not the overworld, but the outside of the missions in XCOM. Yes, there is base building. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's done in time. It's like you go in, you select whatever, and then you go on your next mission. And by the time you go back to your next mission, that's either on its way to completed or completed. And now you can utilize it for something else. Whatever. That was what XCOM did in the in between. This has this world that's just constantly moving, and it's just like, I get why you have the pause function. Just obviously, I think the primary location for this game was PC. Clearly, it was PC.
Yeah.
But it's like,
looks
if
like
you're
it.
going to, you can't leave out such a feature like that. I mean, again, not that you can't pause it, you can, but you can only do it by selecting a specific menu, and that just brings you into the menu. And now everything in the background stopped. But I can't look at the map to now just say, okay, now that we just took that fucking thing down. All right, what do we have? So we got Capone over here. He's moving this way. Okay, nothing's moving. I'm just looking at the map, sort of making the strategy. Think of Game of Thrones. Whenever they had those big maps and those large chess pieces, it's like, nothing's moving. We're just planning this out. Can I do that without having everything move around? Without me taking one move, and in that one move, it's like 5 things have happened around me I didn't even realize. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, man, it was completely disheartening. And after the letdown that was, Persona 5 Strikers, it's just like, oh my God,
Yes,
the
you
game
haven't
was just
had a good
letting me
week.
down. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Aw.
I really. So, by the way, this is from Paradox Interactive, is the makers of this game. And so, not a bunch of unknowns, you know what I mean? But at the same time, they just left a huge chunk of it out, and it just, I don't know, bro. It just left me it left me disappointed, very disappointed. I can't say I've got into it more than 5 hours total, maybe 6. But at some point my stress level was just too high, and I was like, I'm way too fucking stressed. And it's just because I can't stop shit from happening. Yeah. And then all those fucking messages just chiming and chiming and chiming. I'm like, no. Nope. Done. And then from there, I think we ended up playing,
Dragon's Crown.
But I was like, in the meantime, because I know that's our Tuesday game, it's like, I still have to have something else. So I jumped back into Neo.
Neo.
The Neo, yeah, the first Neo.
Okay, that's a
which
good
I
game.
had gotten fairly far. I didn't realize I had gotten as far as I did, but I started from the beginning. I was like, no, I'm not going to jump into this in the middle. It's like, this is not that kind of game. I need to make sure I have my, the
you
edge
need to
that I
mend
had
that
before.
game.
Yeah. So I went back from the beginning, and to be fair, going through it, was, so far, it's been, I don't want to say it's easy, but it's been like, okay, I get what I need to do. The one thing, and I think what I realized that probably frustrated me the most about the game is the key aspect. And it's still bothering me because it's just a foreign thing to me, where I'm
Mm.
like, the key aspect for the record, it's this key move that you can do. You can regain all your stamina right back again. So you could do a combo and
Uh-huh.
then hit the button at the right point, and it goes cling, and then boom, all your stamina is back. So
Oh,
whatever
I
you just
remember
wasted in
that.
that combination, comes right back to you. But if you don't do it, it starts to do it slow whatever. Now the
Right.
slow whatever is not slow, but in the middle of a boss fight, it is like I have to dodge. So and dodge is
Right.
taking away. So and it's I literally have to have it stop and not do anything for it to start going back up again. I didn't realize it the first time. I was like, oh shit,
Oh.
it's not automatic. It will stop for like a second and then
Mhm.
start to come back. And the reason for that is like it wants you to do that key move to whatever. And
Recover
in
your
the middle of
stamina.
a boss
It.
fight, it's like I'm forgetting that I need to do that. Oh, and by the
Oh.
way, these bosses drop this wave pool in the middle of them. That if you're standing on that, guess what that's doing? That's not letting your key come back. So you have to get
Oh.
outside of that. Or if you do the key move while you're in it, and if you do the perfect key move, right? Not just a regular one, just you gotta do the perfect one that flashes, it'll wipe out that little circle. So I gotta do all this in the middle of avoiding everything of a regular boss fight. And I'm like,
Is it?
now I remember why I was like, this is unnecessarily complex. You know what I mean? It's like now you're just and I get it. You can't. You don't want to copy what anybody else is doing. You want to
Mhm.
innovate in your own way, right? So I give them credit that this is definitely a different innovation. To include that to basically make stamina management a little more important.
Right.
But damn, bro, it's like that was the one thing after playing Elden Ring, after everything else, it's like fucking hell. I keep running into these battles with the yokai and even a couple bosses, and it's like, why can I'm run out of fucking stamina, and then my character just like, standing there, and it's like, move, motherfucker,
Yes,
let me roll.
you don't give him a break. You're playing him like he's a fucking Ninja Gaiden, for some reason.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like and it's those pools, and I'm not clearing those pools out. If you're in a boss fight and they're just dropping these pools, and the only way to do it is to do a combo and then do this trigger, and it's like, but what am I to do it at the air? You know what I
So
mean?
this is worse. This almost feels worse than fucking. I was gonna say Onimusha. Oh my god, Onimusha, one of the best games. No, fucking. Oh my god, what game am I thinking? With the the thing. Yeah, fuck, I can't speak anymore. Help! Please
I don't
send
know,
help.
sir. Is it another
Please.
sword one?
Yes, no, another one of these. It was
Dark
it was the
Sekiro?
no. I mean, from the people that make Dark Souls.
Elden Ring?
What?
Dark Souls?
No, keep going.
Sekiro?
Puta madre, Sekiro.
Oh yeah.
That's what I meant to say. Yes, with the this is worse than Sekiro. I said the Sekiro has
all parries.
what?
The parry system.
The
All parries.
yeah, exactly. That Sekiro had the fucking parries, and this one has the it's a key or chi. I never
It's
know how to
key.
pronounce it.
Well, it's Ki. I think that's key.
Yeah, okay, it's key. Okay, all right, yeah, that's right.
So, yeah.
Holy shit, man! I
But
can't
it
believe I
is-
was having
yeah.
an aneurysm there for a second. It's like
I know.
fuck
And
was
I
that?
was like, oh, he's gonna pass out. I need to help him
know.
out. How do I do this?
It's like
Oh, man.
suddenly my thoughts got jumbled and I couldn't think of Sekiro. Fucking
But I'm
Sekiro.
still. All that said, I'm still enjoying it. It is just a new aspect of it. And I just got to get used to it, and that's really what it comes down to. And I remember enjoying. I don't know why I stopped. I think what I realized is the game is long, and I did take a look to see how I don't know do it all games, but occasionally I go, all right, how much am I investing into this, right?
Right.
And this is significantly longer than like Dark Souls or not Elden Ring.
Really?
Elden Ring is like massive,
No.
but your normal Souls game, which is anywhere between 35 to 40 hours, maybe 45, depending on what you're doing. This one, just the main story is 55 to 60 hours. I'm like, fuck. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, okay, so I guess I'm in for the long. Because honestly, me personally, at this moment, I'm like, I'm cool with this. I don't have anything else.
There's
to play.
nothing else in
There's
the
nothing
whole
else going in.
Horizon.
Yeah, sure, maybe. I don't know. But I am enjoying it, and I need something in the meantime. And I think the reason I went back to this is I wanted to go back to it was either this or Demon Souls, honestly. I'm
Oh,
still waiting for fucking Bloodborne to have their fucking 60 frames a second fix. I don't know what the fuck we're waiting for on this, but anyway,
uh,
when that happens, let me tell you, jumping on that. Because that's
yes.
the only issue I had with that game was like it wasn't broken or anything like that, but it just you
No.
felt it, you know what I mean? And it's like no. Anyway, so because of that, and this is very different. Another thing that bothers me about this game is all the fucking items that you get. You get nothing but weapons, and half the time I'm selling them because I'm like, these are all under level. I don't need these. Why am I getting all this?
Yeah, it's like
You know?
it's not great loot. It's
No.
bad loot. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's just numbers. Slightly numbers going up, right? If I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
Yeah. I'm 2 bosses in, and I'm like at 50,000 gold. I don't even know what to do with the gold. What am I doing with all this gold? This is all the shit I'm selling because I'm only doing the kusanagi or kusaragi. I think the ball and the sickle, the ball,
Sure.
chain, and sickle, whatever the fuck it's called. That's my primary, and then I just have
Unagi?
is it? I thought it was kusaragi. Well,
No,
whatever it
I
is.
don't know. I'm just saying
Yeah,
unagi.
that's my primary, and then because I thought it
Unagi.
was so cool, it's such a cool fucking weapon, and when you see
Yeah,
him like work it, it's like, oh, it's just very, I don't know,
looks
it's very
right.
rewarding. And then I have a fucking sword. Like if I run into something, I'm like, all right, I just need to fucking slash my way through this
Oh,
shit. I'm
let's
just fucking slash
slice.
it. So those are the two that I'm going with. But so everything else, if I get an axe or a hammer, I'm like, I'm selling this shit. I don't need this shit. So I've got plenty of gold. What to do with it? No clue, because it's Amrita that is
No
the quote
clue
unquote
what to
souls.
do. What to
And
do with it.
so anyway,
No
so
clue.
that's Neo. That's what I've been playing. So
Mm.
going back to what I've been watching.
All right.
So first off, real quick, just need to say I rewatched The Green Knight. Love that movie. Really, really
Oh, the
love that
Green
movie.
Knight. Yes, you
Yeah,
do love that
I
movie.
do love that movie. It is so beautifully shot. So good, guys. If you have
Mhm.
not seen it, this is criminally unwatched film. you
I
know,
criminally watch the
or
Green Knight. Should I
underwatched film.
be?
I told
It-
you I don't think this is one of the movies. Although I remember as I started telling you the story about it, you're like, "Damn, I think I need to watch it." I'm like,
Yeah,
fine,
it sounded interesting. Yeah, it
yeah.
sounded.
Watch at your own risk, sir. I don't. Understand one thing. If you do watch it, understand one thing. It is a fable,
Right.
literally.
Yeah.
So the Green Knight is as I'm sure we mentioned last time, but the Green Knight, in short, basically is its story, almost like I don't want to say a children's story, but like a fable that told about the nephew of King Arthur. And here you see King Arthur as an old man. He's got his Knights of the Round. His nephew is this because he's the nephew of the king, who is this, world renowned, whatever. He's just living the life, drinking every night, sleeping with women at the brothels and all this. And then one day, you know, what do you call it? Adventure calls him essentially,
Hmm.
and he doesn't realize it's a calling. And when it does, it's about what the steps that he takes. Will he become that knight that he should be, or will he continue to be the not honorable person that he is? And it's played by Dev Patel, which is a great actor. A
Hmm.
lot of actors in this, and like I said, really well done. I love the art design as far as the set design and everything, and just the fucking beautiful. Like there are moments you could just pause and just take that snapshot, and it's like that's a beautiful picture right there.
Yeah.
Just put it up somewhere. Really, really well done film. But yeah, if you do go into it, sir, just know that. So when you see things that are a little odd, just know, well, this is a fable. You know what I mean? It's a fantasy retelling of a medieval story, if you will. So,
Okay.
anyway, so from there, I've seen two series. First off, after finishing Stranger Things, I think we both had to pick up on something after that, and so we jumped into Cowboy Bebop. And I think
Oh, Cowboy Bebop.
you were here when we were doing
When we were testing, yeah, I guess it called you guys' attention. Well, you've seen it.
yeah. Well, I only saw the first 3 episodes at that point.
Oh,
And
okay.
so so I restarted it over so my wife can watch, and then we were watching it, and then a lot of things were happening, and we weren't able to finish it. So I think we had cut an episode in half, and then ended up restarting it. A lot of little things were happening, but the first 3 episodes still remain really, really engaging. But unfortunately, it does fall apart in the latter half. So much so that I think we made it to episode 8, and there's only 10 episodes, and we stopped. We basically pulled the plug at that point. Yeah, and it was like, I mean, granted, it's not the anime, and anybody who's seen Cowboy Bebop the anime, this is a very fun series. The series itself is only 26 episodes. It's it's the original anime series, and it is beloved for being just an awesome tale. And so obviously they try to redo some of that here in just 10 episodes. And like I said, in the beginning, it was working. We found it funny. We were enjoying it. I mean, it was fucking John Cho. If anybody doesn't know John Cho, he's Harold in Harold and Kumar. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Playing the titular character Spike Spiegel. And so it was fun. And I was like, it's not as good as the anime, but you can do so much more with animation, so it only makes sense that this is going to be a little bit under, but it was engaging. And then after a while it just stopped. Like the storyline it felt like it went to 10 episodes without needing the 10 episodes. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, if you would have cut this shorter, but I think they were trying to fill in a lot of stuff, and I don't know, bro. It didn't
That's
hold.
weird though. How it didn't work. I mean, because of the way that he set things up at the beginning to be like, oh, this is gonna be a fun romp,
Yeah.
What is it?
They introduce Daniela Pineda's character, the character is in the anime. It is, I'm trying to get her name here because it slips me. Faye Valentine. So she comes in and she has good moments, but sometimes, and she's also annoying in the anime too, but I don't know. There's something different about it. And I don't know, bro. I really don't. I don't know. It just, the storylines that they were going with were, I don't know. It lost me.
I was gonna ask you, was it that it just became nonsensical?
There was a level of just silliness. I mean, it was already kind of humorous in the beginning, but it went from being humorous to silly. And
that's probably why it didn't hold.
Yeah, and I was like one of the main characters who's his character named Jet Black. He's trying to get a doll for his daughter. It's the most expensive doll because every kid wants it, just like we have now. This is in the future, by the way. Space travel is just normal at that point. And for anybody who doesn't know about Cowboy Bebop, these guys are bounty hunters, and they take on bounties and collect the money on it. And it's known that these two characters are always broke because they're always either messing up the bounty and not capturing them, or letting them go. Sometimes they're like, well, they feel sorry for them, you know what I mean? Or sometimes
literally the worst bounty hunters they could possibly get.
Or
like a discount bounty hunter.
I'm saying in the anime, I don't know, man. It just makes sense. It just the way it does it there. Here, it's like sometimes it happens. It's just like, oh man, that was just dumb, and I don't know. And the other times, it's because the bounty is 1.5 million woos, and
Woos?
yeah, woos, and because of the damage that they caused to try to capture this person, it's like, well, okay, it's 1.5 million woos, but it's going to cost you $1 million just to repair back that stuff. Yeah, it's like, oh my god,
that's how they fucked up.
That's how, yeah. So, and some of the bad guys are, I don't want to say they're bad to be bad, but I don't know understand their reasons behind it, and it's just like, okay. And then when you the main character, the main villain is called Vicious. It's like, oh well, shit. I wonder if he's
Well,
bad, you know. But this is also, and it's, for the record,
yeah.
that's also in I believe, and I'm mistaken, that's also the name of the guy in the anime. So it's not. But again, it's anime. You know what I mean? And so when you in this anime, you go, well, it's anime. Of course, it's gonna be. You gotta have the evil guy. You know what I mean? But when you're making live action, you go, okay, this is a little silly. You know. So I think that's where. I think that's the problem. I think the problem is, first off, credit to them. They worked their asses off to make this look and feel. The music is really good in
Yeah.
this thing. I love it. It's jazz. You know, if you guys know Cowboy Bebop, you'll know that he loves jazz, and it always has this jazzy thing going. The main intro to each episode has that jazz
Mhm.
song, which is really great. And they do they make it here the same way it was in that one too, which is also pretty damn cool.
That's good.
But I don't know. In the end, it's less than the sum of those parts. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it is mostly because I really feel mostly is because it is it just doesn't translate well to live action, and there's just certain
Mhm.
things that don't. And that's what makes me worry about a lot of these adaptations they're trying to do. Believe it or not,
Mhm.
Horizon Zero Dawn is going to get an adaptation, and
Yeah.
right now they're talking about live action. It's like, oh my god, I can I foresee the worst looking CG, robot
Of course,
dinosaurs.
because it's
You
for
know what I mean?
TV, so it
And I'm
has
like,
to.
oh dear lord. And I think that's coming to Netflix. That's a Netflix joint.
Yeah.
Um,
Wouldn't have expected it from anybody else.
yeah. And one of them is also Gran Turismo, which is another. What the fuck are they doing there? I have no idea.
Or, yeah, I
Um,
mean, I like the one that's called Top Gear, but whatever.
yeah, if they make it like that, it'd probably be good, right? You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
anyway, and of course, The Last of Us, which we know, and that's HBO, and HBO. I have some faith in HBO. You know,
Yeah. So far, everything that I've seen from that looks, like it's decent.
like it's gonna be, yeah, exactly. So anyway, this definitely, well, the fact that we couldn't finish it, and I'm not sad about it, says it all. So, oh, excuse me, that's my alarm going off. It means I gotta go check the beer in a moment. Anyway,
Oh.
the last thing we finished also was the most recent Marvel show, and that is Miss Marvel. And yeah,
Oh, wait. So that's complete now?
it's complete. Just the last episode dropped on Tuesday or Wednesday, one of the two. And we were waiting
Okay.
for it to, and it's only 6 episodes, so it's not like it took that long anyway. But
Mhm.
so I gotta say, I
Mhm.
really did like the show. I enjoyed
Hey, I
it.
can put it on my list. Okay.
I will preface this by saying,
Uh-huh.
to understand, this is, if you had issues with Spider-Man Homecoming because of the fact that he's a hero, and maybe the difference is because
Because
that
of the
was
high
Spider-Man,
school.
yeah, in the
Uh,
high school aspect, this is gonna rub you a little bit different, because that's what especially in the beginning, especially the early part of it,
yeah.
um, because she's a high schooler.
Right.
The actress Iman Vellani, who plays Kamala Khan, she's in high school, so she's dealing with high
Mhm.
school issues, and on top of that, she is of a Pakistani family,
Mhm.
dealing with Pakistani issues in Jersey City, in New
Yeah.
Jersey. All of that for me, personally, I was just like, I'm in. They're in
Yeah.
Jersey
Yeah.
City. It's they're dealing with the neighborhoods, and what I always loved about New York, for the record, is how you can go from one block that looks and feels like you are in the Middle East to another block that
Mhm.
looks like feels like you are now in
Chinatown.
freaking Chinatown, and then the next block over you're in Little Italy. People are, it's just like, whoa, it's like it's a wonderful melting pot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so, and for the record, that's I'm mostly New York is what I mentioned there, but New York itself and what it does, not everybody can live in New York, particularly now it's more expensive. All those neighborhoods have migrated outwards. So you have, especially in Queens, you have a lot of different communities and stuff like that. And in Jersey as well, Jersey City, you can literally see Manhattan from across the way. So anyway, My point is to say, I liked what I really did like what they were bringing to it. I don't know if I like Miss Marvel as a superhero, and not
Uh,
that I don't like it, but just like I don't know if I find her powers very interesting.
oh,
But I will say that the actress Vellani, we were laughing so much with her because she's a young actress, and apparently she's older than she looks.
uh-huh.
Look, she looks young because it was just like, oh my gosh, she looks like she's 14, Benito. But not so much.
For good casting.
It was really her face, but she has this expressive face that made us laugh so often because it was just like whenever something odd happened, and she's also very good. Um, she's there's a side character called Bruno Coretti, which is her best friend.
Uh-huh.
And you have all these other characters that pop up. I'm not gonna go into all of them, but the point is her family's awesome. Like her mom and the dad, who are very protective of her
Mm.
and don't want her to go out, don't want her to do stuff, especially with boys. We all know how that is, in many communities, but it's big in the Pakistani community. It's like, no, you can't be alone, and and all this stuff. Um, and I just love how the story itself kind of really formulated itself well and was told well, and it
Yeah.
just felt genuine. And the music, bro, dude, I have the freaking soundtrack on Spotify
Oh
saved and I
shit.
listed because I was like, holy shit, this is some good
Nice.
freaking music. Um, I was in shock, dude. I was like, "Oh man, this is
This super
some of the
works.
yeah, man, it's some of the better let me hit you up with something right here where just so you can kind of get an
Careful that we don't
understanding."
get,
Oh, we probably will.
red flag.
We
Oh, that's right.
red flagged. Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Demonetized. Yeah, we don't want to get
monetize.
demonetized. Right, right,
Exactly.
right. But here, let me see if let me move it up a little bit. This is from an older Pakistani thing, but then it
Uh,
goes to some of the newer tunes, which are even more awesome. Oh, Riz Ahmed, remember Riz Ahmed?
Riz Ahmed,
Brucey-
yes.
yeah, this is him.
I'll get it.
Dude, it was, I'm telling you,
Nice.
dude, it's a lot of fucking awesome music in that. I think we were just jamming to that at some point. It
Yeah.
was like but anyway, superhero wise, you know, she's not saving the world here, or I mean, well, let's just say the stakes aren't at the shown
No.
are not too big. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which just makes sense. Again, similar to Spider-Man: Homecoming, right? It's like you're not dealing with Thanos here. You know what I mean?
No.
But you have, and I will say that some of the quote unquote villains
Mm.
are a little two dimensional. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Oh.
okay, well, it is only 6 episodes on top of that, so it's hard to really make them all, what they should be. But overall, I think it's definitely a good series,
It
and I'm gonna
works.
give this a 3.5.
Nice.
I'm gonna give this one a
Okay.
3.5.
Oh,
I really enjoyed it.
it works.
I also am curious as to where they're going, because this also opens up, some. Obviously, I won't spoil anything here, but just some possible paths they can go. And it's like, oh, and part of the
Mm.
record, this is the last thing before Thor: Love and Thunder. So I haven't seen that one. So I don't know where that's supposed to go. And we've mentioned this last week. Phase 4 is a mess. It's hard to know what it is they're trying to do, and I we're all kind of thinking that. I think even the Russo brothers have recently come out and saying that they'll be interested in doing the Secret Wars. So it's like, is that a hint? Is that what we're heading toward? And it's like, okay, we'll see if that's where they're going. It's still very convoluted.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, you've seen everything up to Miss Marvel. Think back to everything and just go, yeah, all that's supposed to be connected. And that shit just feels
Yeah.
completely fragmented. You know what I mean? And
It's
this here
what we
as
were
well.
talking about the other day about the building the meta, and
Mhm.
I was going to ask you, based on obviously acquisitions and all that they have had. Which storyline do you think will fit better for to leverage all these properties? Wouldn't that be Secret War?
It is only because Secret Wars is
It's a free for all.
essentially, yeah, it's essentially. But what it is first of all, you have the Illuminati, which spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen Doctor Strange. There is a scene with I won't say who's in it, but there's a scene with the Illuminati. That alone was the first major sign. That and of course the whole King the Conqueror from Loki.
Oh, then yeah, there
So
you
these
go.
are all things that are the moment people see this, go, oh, this has to be that. That has to be where they're going.
Yeah.
Yes, multiverses, King the Conqueror, and the Illuminati. Suddenly you go, yep, those are your three pieces where you go, that has to be where they're going.
Yeah.
And here it's clear that Miss Marvel will be in the film The Marvels, which will include Captain Marvel as well, but also Monica Rambeau, which this is all known for. This is not like spoilers or anything like that.
Right.
But all that's supposed to be connected. There is some connections to. By the way, I still recommend, and anybody else who's watching MCUs recently and just going, I don't really know what's going on. I highly recommend this channel on YouTube called Screen Crush. I watch them all the time when I watch a series, particularly with like Moon Knight. Was like, I don't know anything about Moon Knight, and I'm not gonna sit and read about Moon Knight. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
like, who can tell me real quick? He gives you the brief history on it, whatever, and I would recommend for series that if you're watching a series, don't watch Screen Crush one episode at a time, because not that he spoils stuff, but he does bring in stuff through the comics, and he brings his theories as well. And for the most part, he nails them. Sometimes he's completely wrong. So if you don't want, like, if you're watching, let's say you're watching Moon Knight and you saw the first episode and now he's bringing in all the references, whatever, and then he may start bringing up stuff, his ideas, what his thoughts are, and what he can possibly be. And if those things end up being right, then you're just like, well, not that he spoiled it, because that show didn't comes out once a week, but because he has that history, he can fill in gaps that you probably didn't want to know till the end. You know what I mean?
Right.
So for that, for the movies, on the other hand, it's different, right? It's one movie, so he can definitely fill in stuff like that. And I definitely invite you to watch the one for Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
I do. I do want to.
It's really good, and that's where I get a lot of that, because again, I know the main heroes, but now we're in, I don't want to say B tier, but we're in the cosmos when it comes to Marvel. It's like, I don't know most of these people. Like we saw Doctor Strange, and I won't say what it was, but there was a character introduced at the very end where I was like, who the fuck is that? No clue who that is. You know what I mean? It's like, I had no fucking clue. I had to again look that up, and I think he may mention in the video as well. But he does it in a really cool way, very engaging way, and he's funny and all that stuff. So anyway, I highly recommend that. I did that with Miss Marvel, because again, I know of Miss Marvel, but I don't know that character like that. And it was interesting to see. And it really, I think what it does is that he's good at giving just a better look at these characters. Sometimes you just go, oh, this feels silly. And then you go, oh shit, that's all canon. That was all in the comics. Okay, so I guess it's not silly. You know what I mean? It's like, I think sometimes you feel like you feel maybe it's pandering to certain audiences.
Yeah.
Like, okay, no, that was all canonical. It was all part of what was already there. And so okay, all right. Well then, I think Disney, and I think they pander. That's just me. But maybe it's not always the case, But anyway, Ms. Marvel 3.5. Definitely enjoyed it.
Cool. Putting it on the list then.
And anyway, that, ladies and germs, that's all we've been doing. And guys, we are back, and it is now time for some useless news that you can use. And I want to start with, well, clearly this is gonna the fanboy in me, or not the fanboy in me, but people are going to label me as such because that's just the way it is. But it is what it is. There's some interesting PlayStation news, and I wanted to make sure we brought it up. First and foremost, we have some updates to the extra and premium games packages. I didn't want to bring this up sort of as a hot topic at some point, but I'd rather have we'll give the PlayStation Premium a little bit of time to gain its footing, and then we'll do a nice comparison. But that said, there's some games that have been going to be released for July. One of which is Stray, which is a new title, as we all know, and some others. Real quick, we have a slew of Assassin's Creeds. We have Unity, Black Flag, Rogue Remastered, Freedom Cry, and the Ezio Collection. A couple of Saints Row 4 Re-Elected, Saints Row Gat Out of Hell. And then we have Marvel's Avengers, because everybody wants to play that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. And then a couple of games that I've never heard of, but I'm not going to go into. But anyway, so I want to get your opinion, sir. This is a lineup that's coming to the extra and premium games package. We got a new game. Now, obviously, we already have some games for the month of July that are in the Essentials package.
Yeah.
With this information, does it suddenly go, maybe the extra and premium thing is a little desirable? Or at least make me feel better. Made me feel better about my purchase, please. Thank you. I appreciate
it. Well, sir,
I hate to tell you.
I was gonna say, because I don't want to be, labeled as a fanboy for the fact that, well, you have Game Pass and you seem to have no problem with Game Pass. What do you have against them? No, because I do appreciate the idea of Sony bringing titles and to the subscription service, and it looks like it's gonna be a situation where they're gonna have to be pumping more titles there. It doesn't matter of the particular quality or whatever. What do you think? If it's a good game, you probably already played it. Let's be real.
Yeah, that is true.
And if it's a bad game, whatever, it's filler. I mean, a Game Pass is full of those.
Yep.
So no, I don't think any of the games in particular called my attention. Like, I'm not ready to make the jump to a Sony Game Pass, what do they call it? Sorry, I can't. I don't know. I only speak Xbox, evidently.
PlayStation Plus Premium, sorry,
Yeah,
or
right.
extra,
Thank
depending, right? You don't need to do the premium. I think you just do the extra.
Thank you. The catalog, the catalog of Game Pass games is not necessarily the reason why I subscribe to Game Pass either. I like the thing that I like about Game Pass the most is, well, I don't fucking own an Xbox, but I have it on PC, so I can play those games on PC, and it's almost like that. I can have the Xbox experience if I want to. It's like complementing it to my PlayStation experience, but I don't have the time or the desire to go into a really old catalog. And the same thing goes for Game Pass. That's not the main reason why I have it. I don't. I think I can stream games from Xbox generations past. I'm personally not doing that. But I know a lot of people are, and I love the fact that I get to play new games on day one on Game Pass, and it's a shame Sony doesn't want to do that equivalent, because they see it as the values the game. We can go into the argument of that for a topic or whatnot, but the fact is they don't have it. So if they don't even have that, then nothing's really impulsing me to go any further than the essential. Just give me the essentials. Just let me connect online. Yes. Just the essentials, yes. because chances are, if there's a game that I want to play on a Sony game that I want to play in PlayStation, I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah,
I don't.
sure,
I want to fully
for
own
sure.
it. You know,
for sure.
I still buy for some reason, and this is just a me thing. You know, not and zero justification for it, but Forza Horizon 5 is a Game Pass day one,
Yeah,
or
it is.
it was because it's already released. And I still pay $100 for that fucking title. I still paid it because I wanted to own it. I wanted to have it. I didn't want to part of a subscription. It's Forza Horizon is one of my favorite series, so I wanted to own that. I didn't
You
do
know,
the
it's
same
tied
thing.
behind the subscription. I know what you mean.
Right. No, exactly. Yeah. Because at some point I might be like, okay, I think, I'm not going to be playing anything else. Or the subscription is going to do what everybody expects that is going to happen, because it's true, because it is going to happen, is, that Game Pass deal is no longer going to be a deal. It's actually, turns out we need to raise the price on it. And what was $9.99 is probably going to be $14.99, if not $19.99. And like at some point, I'm going to reach my limit.
What
So
was
already
it that they leaped towards at one point, just like randomly? And it didn't go out that way, but like some sort of.
Yeah, I want to. I don't recall, but I do. Yeah, it was like very drastic. Suddenly,
It
no,
was like this, yeah,
no explanation, no nothing. Yeah, it was a ridiculous jump. And I mean, don't get it twisted. It is going to happen at some point, because just like you said, everything goes up.
Mhm.
And the who knows? Maybe that title, the amount of titles at that point might justify it. But I'm reaching a point where things are going so crazy with subscriptions that I started to reconsider them. Like the other day, I got charged for Prime. And sorry that I go on a tangent here. I got 100. What is it now? $170, some crazy shit like that. Like,
Is
I
it
don't
170? Damn.
like 100. Must be 100.
It was
much is
120
Amazon Prime?
Before, so
It went up. Maybe you can find out how much
Yeah,
it went
yeah,
up. But I and Amazon Prime in this household is pretty essential. It's almost a requirement at this point. Not just for the benefits of Prime Video or whatnot, but the shipping is an important part, because I do.
$139. So it went up $20.
Okay, there you go.
$139.
Yeah, so it's $140 that I was not expecting to get charged, or I guess I was, because I always know this around May that it happens. But suddenly I have that. It's like, ooh, this
September for
shit
me, yeah.
was $70 when I signed up. It's already double, and the excuse is always the same, for the increase. So I don't want to have my games tied up to a subscription service. I want to own it if they're special.
Mhm.
If it's just a game that I'm gonna play and then just forget, like I didn't do it for Halo. Like Halo fucking Halo Infinite. you would think fucking Halo Infinite. That's the title. No, I grabbed that and played it on Game Pass, and I couldn't be happier.
Nice.
Meanwhile, sorry, I was just gonna finish off with. Meanwhile, I have Microsoft Flight Simulator, which I have on Game Pass, and I'm thinking like, this game is kind of special for its own thing. I should probably buy this, but at this point, I'm gonna wait for a sale.
I for one am happy that I'm going to get. So there's a few games that have jumped out towards, and I already have done. I haven't started or I haven't even got to them, but from the premium package, where I'm like, ooh, this was on my radar, and now I don't have to pay for it. It's there. They already have that. And they're obviously, these are going to be random titles you probably haven't heard of. Just like, hey, I'm just interested in them. I had them on my radar. Stray was definitely an interesting one, where I thought it was going to come to the essentials, and it's not. It actually is part of the premium or at least the extras.
Yeah, that's crap. I thought the same thing.
No, it's not coming to essential. It's part of the premium. Yeah. So So I was like, okay, well, at least I knew I was going to buy that game. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hands down, I knew I was going to buy that game. And so cool that that has come then. And I'm not an Assassin's Creed guy.
Mm,
I'm not definitely into Marvel's Avengers. But
mm.
if I'm bored one day and I just want to see what the dumpster fire looks like, maybe I go check it out. You know what I mean? It's one of those
You
things.
might
I don't
enjoy
have
the
to
single
actually
player.
spend money. Like the whole deal with Fallout 76 is like when I rented it from a fucking Redbox, it was like I just
Mhm.
want to see the dumpster fire. I need to see it with my own eyes. You know what I mean? And the curiosity was killing me. And I was like, I'm not going to pay for the game, but yeah, I'll pay $3 to Redbox. You know what I mean? And just bring it back. Now I could just do shit like that with this. So I don't
Exactly.
know if that suddenly justifies the service, but it is for me. Damn it, that's what I'm using for now. Anyway, thank you, sir. My next piece and final piece is just really a quick little tidbit again. Sony has revealed PlayStation Stars, a new loyalty program that'll be free to join. Have you heard of this, sir?
Yeah, I did, but like I didn't went into it to
Too
find
much?
out. So
Okay.
can you
So
please explain?
the program, which PlayStation says will allow players to quote earn rewards by completing a variety of campaigns and activities, launches later this year. PlayStation Star, will introduce a new reward which Sony is calling quote digital collectibles.
Oh, fuck no!
According to the
Don't.
blog post announcing the new scheme, the items are a quote digital representation of things that PlayStation fans will enjoy, including figurines of beloved or iconic characters from games and other forms of entertainment, as well as cherished devices that tap into the history of Sony's innovation. There will always be a new collectible to earn, an ultra rare collectible to strive for, or something surprising to collect. It says it's definitely not NFTs. This is by Grace Chen, which is the vice president
But
of
they
Avatar.
sure smell like them or
What?
stink.
Yeah. When asked by Washington Post, she said, definitely not. You can't trade them or sell them. It's not leveraging any blockchain technologies and definitely not NFTs. All PlayStation Stars members will have opportunities to earn loyalty points. Points can be redeemed in a catalog that may include PlayStation Network wallet funds or selected PlayStation Store products. As an additional benefit, PlayStation Plus members enroll in PlayStation Stars automatically earn points for purchases on PlayStation Stores. This is very similar. This is me talking now. This is very similar to what Nintendo does, which I've used many a times, although not recently because I just haven't bought anything from Nintendo. But when I did, you make a purchase, you earn these coins in their thing, and those coins give you like a discount to your next purchase. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
So a quick little way of saving some money. PlayStation Stars will roll out later this year in a phased regional approach, according to Sony. It's unclear which regions will be included when the service is launched later this year. Quote, we hope this new program brings to mind past gaming memories while making you excited for the future of PlayStation, commemorating the game era, blah, 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 blah. All right, moving on. Sir, this sounds like any type of normal loyalty program that you would go to. Again, like I mentioned, the Nintendo thing.
The point. I mean, it's cool that they're adding something to work towards. But
So the theory is, here's the theory, sir. This is a theory, and I'm curious to hear what you think. Is that we may be seeing a PlayStation Home, new
listening.
a new PlayStation Home, if you will.
You perk my ears.
For those who don't recall, for those who don't recall, PlayStation Home was PlayStation 3, right? If I remember,
that was one of the best things on PlayStation 3 was PlayStation Home. Yes,
so PlayStation Home was
my homies.
This is a rumor, and so the question is, if you have these collectibles, where else would it be something that you would want to do? And the way it doesn't say here, but if you look at the Washington Post thing, they do go a little bit further, and that is these things can be acquired by the first person or the first few people hit a platinum trophy or a specific mission. These little things that they do within game that obviously it's gaming related, and if you do it, you earn a particular thing, whatever they may go. But what is the point? What would you do with it if not to show it off? And where would you show it off if not? I don't know, in your PlayStation home. You know what I mean?
Maybe on your
Uh,
profile page, maybe.
I mean, I guess, but somebody has to look at your
Somewhere.
profile. But if you have, like, let's say it's you, me, and Dark, and Chaos, and I'm like, hey guys, come over to the home, and then you can just go through the home and just check out. Oh shit, look at this guy's got the
Don't play
Ghost of
with my heart.
Tsushima blade on the wall. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, that would be
Oh,
cool.
that's so basically
There's no,
it's like
for the
I
record, I'm not saying there's no one who's mentioned PlayStation Home, but
no
there
no
have
no.
been rumors of that particular thing coming
I
back.
mean, if anything, we're trying to give him the idea.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
mentioning
If
it,
anything,
like,
yeah, like Sony,
please,
get
Sony,
that shit
bring.
together. Yeah,
That was
yeah.
a good idea, and that was making you buttloads of money. Also,
It
what
was,
do
dude. I
you
was
know
spending
that?
a dumb shit, dude. I had the Batcave as my house. I had the fucking an apartment in Rapture. I was just like, I don't care. The sad part is that it was just me. I couldn't show that off to anybody because
Right.
no one can come to the apartment. But can you imagine if you now with technology, we could just bring everybody to your little your
Hangout
lobby.
place.
It's like a lobby, right? Your own lobby,
Yeah.
and boom, I was like, oh, that'd be kind of
The thing
cool.
is that the idea of that always sound better
Than the
than what
result.
it is,
Yeah,
because
than the result.
so well, we gather on, let's say, on PlayStation, you, me, Chaos, and Dark, and we're talking, and we might jump in the game, and that's how virtual world, the game,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's not the same. Like, what would be the point of what? Let's just make it an avatar that you walk around on a room. Like, we're not gonna be as
So the point is to
as
have something
something
to
as much
do
as you want
with.
to, like,
Yeah.
enjoy or think about, fantasizing about, hey, let me show you my collection. It's like, we're not there for that.
Yeah. But what if it was something like just random thought?
Mm.
You earned the ROM, like one of the things you earn is the ROM for Parappa the Rapper, and I have now that game, and we can access it via streaming because that's probably what it's going to be. But you gotta come. You gotta come to the home. You know what I mean? You can come to home. Let's go play some Parappa the Rapper, or you could just play Parappa the Rapper. I can sit there and watch you play. You know what I mean? That would be kind of cool. But yes, you're right. It comes down to
That could be done without.
implementation. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing that was fun about home was the customization aspect. It was fun. I won't deny. I never. I don't think that I can remember if I bought anything. I don't think so, because that would have that would have been a lot of things that would have entailed.
Oh,
including
dude,
putting
I
my
bought a bunch of shit. Clothing.
No, I got
dances.
shit, but I
Yeah.
think, and maybe you also, we got it for free or from pre-ordering games or stuff. That's how I remember getting a lot of items.
No,
On
I actually paid for the Batcave, and I remember paying for those, and they weren't a lot for the rent. It's like I
and,
fucking spent $20
maybe I
on it.
did also, because I remember having it also. So yeah,
Yeah.
so maybe I did. All right, so there you go. It's a proven idea.
It is,
like,
and
what
it's
is
crazy to go back to, and it's funny how we're about to talk about our hot topic. You know what I mean? But it's like that contradicts what we're saying now. Like, yeah, give us PlayStation Home. Wait, but you know what? Make sure there's a narrative involved. You know, it's like, but at the
I
same
just want to
time,
hang out at your place and play Parappa the Rapper.
yeah.
That's my narrative. That's
I
all
just
wanna
feel
do.
like it would be a cool little aspect, and whether they can nail or not, who knows. But I think it would be interesting. And again, you can have your count, your fucking shelving and all whatever. I mean, the point of having those things is to show them off. What's the point of having
Right,
them if you're not
right.
going to be able to show them off? How else would you show them off? Unless you just tell somebody, "Hey, I earned this." Oh, that's
So that was
cool.
the whole point of trophies, though. Like,
Well, it is for those who are trophy hunters, but we're not.
yeah, but
trophy
if you're not a trophy hunter, you're not gonna be I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's cool because they're doing something different, and I like that. Is what I'm wondering is, like, how is this? Like, what's the angle here, Sony?
Yeah,
That's what I mean.
I agree.
What's the angle
I
here?
mean, I like
You
the
say
fact
there's
that
no NFT. If there were an NFT, at least it would have sounded disgusting, but at least we would have had a reason. It's like, okay, so they're catering to collectors. And it's like Steam. Steam has fucking cards that you can, which I seem to be collecting also.
yes,
Cards that you could get
cards,
for playing games, and every now and then they just show you any complete a random one, and that they're meant to be traded. But I mean, I don't know. They're not NFTs, and I don't care. The only time I remember having them is when I have the notification that keeps bothering me. It's like, oh, you have a new message, and I'm thinking, oh, somebody texted me on Steam, and it's just to remind me that I still have 18 new items in my inventory, and I haven't cared to see what they are. So that's what I'm afraid that this might end up turning into. Who knows? But
yeah, but they gotta try. So I hear you though.
I like it. I like the idea. I like that, and
like
the
I said,
angle might just
points.
be.
The points that you can put towards like future purchases or you know what I mean, stuff like that. It's like, okay, well, that's always going to be a plus for me. If I'm going into PlayStation Network and I'm gonna buy a game for $29.99 and suddenly, hey, by the way, you have 300 points here, that'll take off 3 points, and now it's $26.99. Okay.
That'd be cool. Yeah, exactly.
That's always a good thing. Yeah.
If you're giving it so value, like I'm getting paid to play your games, basically, even if it's just a penny for every fucking 24 hours of game time, I bet I can still make a buck at some point.
Well said, sir. Well said. I bet I can still make. I buy that for $1.
That's
the new. That's the new one. That's the new. I buy that for $1.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, that's all the news we have. Not a lot going on because, well, not a lot going on. But we do have something called the hot topic of the week. Hot topic again, guys, is disappearing narrative. And once again, we'll just kind of rewind it back to kind of give you where we're at. We're looking at the fact that narrative in general. So I posted this as part of the hot topic and kind of in the actual posting itself, where it's like, if you really think about what it takes to deliver an impactful story, an engaging narrative, there's a lot of pieces involved. First you have to actually have an engaging story, right? You have to have that story. So what does that mean? That means you have to have a writer who can create the story. And guess what? Not everybody's a writer.
And that many of those in games.
Yeah, and it's like
games that can deliver.
Exactly. Most of the time, when we literally pan a game for going, damn, that was some really cheesy ass narrative, it's because they're essentially borrowing stuff from other stuff and putting it together just so you have a reason to be there to do whatever it is the game is asking you to do. You know what I mean? And really engaging narratives actually have a well thought out reason for being there, but they don't always end up delivering. And I think of like games like Outriders, where I feel like the premise was really fascinating. The fact that the Earth was, so spoilers here for that game, even though I didn't play much of it, I only played the demo, but spoilers for anybody who doesn't want to know. We had to leave the Earth because we fucking ruined the Earth, because that's humans are basically big cockroaches, and little by little we found a place and we got to the place, and now we're about to essentially start whatever we need to do to start to colonize and make the planet our own. And then shit happens. Your main character leapfrogs in time because they got cryo frozen. And now we're into a section where we've been here for some time, and now we're in civil war. And dude, the setup was awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I was just like, wow, I want to see a movie or a fucking series with this. Someone needs to make this. Whoever made The Expanse, do this now, please. So that was a great setup. And again, you have to have that, and that's important, right? You have to have the story behind everything. But then you also have to have, how it's being delivered to you, and how are we doing this? Are we playing this in first person? Is this going to include actual voice acting, or are we going to be doing this with audio logs like BioShock? And how are we going to receive that? And then finally, of course, you have to be able to deliver all these ideas and put them together and deliver the stuff. Well, just going back to Outriders, yes, it had a great premise, but the delivery of it wasn't the best, and that's why it's ended up just being average. You know what I mean?
Kind of fell apart also because it became too abstract and nonsensical.
Correct. And yet the game continues with a recent DLC, which actually I heard got pretty decent reviews. I mean, it wasn't like stellar or anything like that, but it was like
the people that wanted to go back.
Yeah, exactly. And so what does that do? That sort of it continues the life cycle of this game that in essence is just fairly average, right? Or average to good, Yeah. So, developers see this and they go, well, do we really need to pay for some of the best writers when we can just go with the normal, hey, you need to save the world? You know what I mean? Because that's what you want to do anyway. And so it feels like the little by little, to me, the reason I kind of brought this one up as being a hot topic, I think a few weeks ago, but the reason I bring this up is because I feel like less and less of these really engaging storylines are being released, and now with the move to free to play and to the move to live service games, I feel like, well, clearly narrative is going to take a back seat in this, because why spend more if we're not, what I'm saying, if it's not going to be that imperative. And obviously there are exceptions to the rule, right? You have some let's talk about Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog is not going to they although it remains to be seen, because they already talked about the new, I don't know what it's called. I call it Factions because that's what the first Last of Us multiplayer was called. It's called Factions, but who knows what this one's going to be called. But this is the multiplayer game, and yeah, they're saying there's going to be a narrative, and it's like, yeah, but how is that narrative going to be delivered in a multiplayer game? Is it going to be like Last of Us? Because if it's not, then that's the bar you set. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, bro. I feel like soon I'm only going to be able to get interesting narrative games from the indie market, and with these bigger things taking over, that indie market can shrink and shrink.
I think when you start talking about having multiplayer games with a narrative, either you're using the term narrative very loosely or you're delusional. Because
you hear that, Naughty Dog? You're delusional.
Seriously, because the thing with multiplayer games is that I mean, I guess you can make an argument for depending what type of game and what delivery method gets done, because Star Wars: The Old Republic is an MMORPG. It's nothing more multiplayer than that.
True. That
delivers, not just one, but a bunch of different type of stories. Some of them lauded as some of the best Star Wars story they have, as far as games, well, and movies now, that they have to offer. So I'm not saying it's impossible. It's just, I'll give you an example of a game that did it like very badly, and the whole thing is, this game doesn't have a multiplayer, a single player aspect, because it's all part of the multiplayer. We're gonna deliver the narrative on the multiplayer. Yeah, right. Titanfall.
Oh, I knew it. I was like, he's gonna talk. He's gonna mention Titanfall.
Because
I was supposed to have a narrative behind it. The first one, which was just
it didn't matter. Like, it fucking didn't matter, because no one was paying attention to it, because no one is gonna sit down and pay attention to what's happening when you got someone shooting you.
Or you have people in your headset talking to you.
Or you have people in your headset, exactly, trying to strategize and all that. So that was like the worst example that I could think of, and I'm sure there are others, but that's one of the worst. So it remains to see. I mean, from my understanding, Factions is that type of game where you're not just going about with your buddies going through like a cooperative aspect, taking a story. There is a competitive aspect, right? And if you're gonna be if you're gonna be hunted, you're not gonna have time to have a meaningful dialogue conversation unless your idea of that is, let's literally stop the action to get you into a cutscene, or maybe a cutscene before you actually start the mission, kind of like the delivery and all that. And then you open the mission and it's a purely multiplayer aspect. Then you finish that and we go back to the story.
Well, that's
That's
what. Did you
doable.
play? Oh,
No, go ahead.
I was gonna ask. Did you play?
Actions, no.
Okay, so Factions actually was interesting. But it wasn't interesting because there was a narrative. It was interesting how they did the thing. So basically, it was Last of Us
I heard it was really
gameplay.
good.
Yeah, it actually. I played a little bit of it, and I was shocked. I was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, this is visceral," because obviously, first off, it's
Oh, it's
Last
not
of
at
Us,
all.
so you're it's survival. The way it was done, it was like you would essentially go out into the wild, if you will, and you can go as a team, whatever, how you set it up. But the fact is, you would go out and you're scrounging for stuff, but you
Mhm.
obviously were scrounging for stuff to take away from or to try to get away from other factions, hence the name factions. So you would go into the areas, and the same gameplay that you had in the game for the most part was what you had in the multiplayer, but some really visceral takedowns. I mean, just like pretty harsh, you know what I mean? And when you take
Yeah.
somebody out, it wasn't just shooting them from far, although you could do that. But remember, you're also limited in ammo and stuff like that. So all the stuff that you don't have in the
Mhm.
game was still in there. So you would go with fucking bats and fucking
Mhm.
wood with spikes in it and whatever. And then whenever you finish the thing, it would be all about what you gained so you can bring back to your camp. And then in
Uh-huh.
your camp, you would have like this other sort of meta game happening there because you have to bring in bandages for these people, and almost like a resource management type of thing, but nothing to the drastic nature that people would, if you don't do things, it would just die out. But you're just doing
Yeah.
whatever you can to help that. So that was interesting, but
Yeah.
the narrative there was still really bare bones. You know what I mean? You were filling it in, because it's not like there was no cutscenes or like that. It was like you're just filling in what it looks like. It was fascinating because it was a very different take on a multiplayer. But
Mhm.
outside of that, the story is what you made it. And the story
Yeah.
just continued the same thing. It's like you're constantly going out and just scavenging for shit. That's not really a story.
Yeah.
That's just survival. So
Yeah. I mean, you can make an argument for story being what's the term that gets used when it's dynamic, like it's actually like you, the player, are building your own story, so to speak.
yeah, yeah.
uh
I don't know the
I
term,
don't
but I know what you mean. Yeah,
I like um I don't necessarily consider that
narrative.
narrative,
Hmm.
or at least not in the typical sense of tell me a story, because at that point I am making the story, and whatever happens could be kind of amazing, but it is you don't get to repeat it, or if you repeat it, you're gonna have to be you're gonna have to follow a very strict script. That was a hard word to say.
Say that five times fast.
Tongue twister. But I think before we jump into if we're actually losing single player games to multiplayer, I think it's important that we make a distinction that escapes a lot of people. People get confused, with this notion, and it's fair. It's not anybody's fault. It's just they seem similar, but they're not, and that is the aspect of a narrative versus the aspect of lore.
Right,
And
right.
uh, Elden Ring has incredible lore. Elden Ring doesn't have a great narrative.
No,
Actually, I will
doesn't even
say
have
it
a
has
narrative.
very
Yeah,
poor, and because it doesn't really have any.
hmm
It's kind of one of those where you're making what you see. Yes, you might have some
You're
moments.
piecing it together. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And you're at that point, you're not telling me a story. I am making my own story, which is not. It's not. It's not. There's no narration there,
hmm
other than the one that I'm making in my own head. Um, so you can have aspect that feel the universe, that make the world. The lore is just world building, basically. It is explaining, like if you're on the field and you see a chapel, the lore will explain the reason for that chapel or for the existence of those chapels, whatever they might be. The lore might give you insights on the background of the characters you meet along the way, so that when you face them, you will understand their motivations, and then you can decide, whether to align or not. It's very difficult to get. It's very easy to get those
Yeah,
confused.
because you feel like you're being told a story, and it's like, well, no, you're
No,
just being filled in the background.
yeah, exactly.
That,
Yeah,
that's what that is. There is a fine line between the two, and you're right that a lot of people do get those confused, and I agree. Destiny is the same thing. Destiny,
Mhm.
I don't know about Destiny 2 because other than the main story, the main campaign, but I haven't done anything past that. The first Destiny 2, but a lot of the stuff was locked away in the grimoire. You know what I mean? It's like
Right. The region
that
of the
wasn't,
Sea.
yeah, and but that was all lore. That wasn't really
Mhm.
telling a narrative. That was just filling in blanks as to who these people are and what do they want.
Mhm.
But when you get that was also a game, I would say, that was very light on narrative as well,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
can play that one as single player, and you're still getting a very light because that wasn't the focus. That wasn't what they were trying
yeah.
to whatever. And so
As opposed to now, where you could actually play that game multiplayer, and it delivers
and
the
it
lore
delivers
as
right.
the lore as well. It's almost like the and this is why I said it's not impossible. It just depends on what type of game you're building. If it's something that is meant to, if it's an experience that is meant to be cooperative, then yes, of course you can have a cooperative moment on a favorite game of yours, where you and three of your buddies are playing, and then when there's times to get a cutscene, everybody shut the fuck up. Or the game might have ways of
A
of
beauty,
making
yeah, it's a
everybody
beauty of it, yeah.
participate in its own, in its own way that is unique. I always like the idea of uh, uh, of the Old Republic,
Mhm.
Knights of the Old Republic
That's what it is.
MMO, where if there was a point during they had the Bioware dialogue, right, where they give you an exposition or something, and then they make you select each choice. Every player could make a different choice. Uh, at the end of the day, whichever one, the way it got decided was whichever one voted first. If everybody picked a different one, then it was whichever one voted first, right?
Mhm.
If a particular one got selected by two players, then whoever was the first person to get that one, it was going to be the person delivering. It was going to be the person taking place in the dialogue. But everyone had a dialogue or an opportunity to have one, and it made it legitimate, and it was very well done. So those things, could happen. Certainly, multiplayer games, uh, it's not impossible. I think it's harder when you have a competitive aspect,
Mhm.
because when you're playing against other players are not giving a fuck that you're in a cutscene.
Yeah.
They're not giving a fuck that, oh guys, wait, don't shoot me because I'm trying to listen to this audio log. It's like, that's not
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Oh,
They're not
that's so
gonna care.
horrible.
You're gonna get your ass beaten, and that's why it's good to deliver it there. Who knows? Maybe someone can figure it out. Um, there is a worry that permeates gaming lately, and it is that we are noticing a lot of games pivoting towards the multiplayer aspects of it, rather than taking the time to deliver a solid single player experience.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a reason that I want us to talk about. There's actually various reasons, but and you can probably think of a few. The one that occurs to me at the moment is there is a lot of games that come out lately that are, I don't want to say geared towards younger player, because when I say younger player, I don't mean like it's for kids. I'm not saying that at all. That's not what I mean. When I say younger players, I mean the generation that is before mine. I'm an Xer, or it's not called that. It's just called Generation X.
Generation
whatever.
X, yeah.
And I appreciate the games that gives me a story, and I played a lot of the games that I tend to go towards are single player stories, because I like the delivery of the delivery of a story to some interactive medium. I appreciate that, and I enjoy playing games also, so it's a perfect match.
Mm-hmm.
However, a lot of youngins, a lot of younglings, they have grown in the generation of, let's say mobile gaming and competitive gaming, where that has been brought. Fortnite comes to mind, for example.
It's the first thing that comes to mind. Yep.
Those type of games. Minecraft, even though Minecraft is not, I mean, it could be a multiplayer experience, but it's not heavy on narrative, so it doesn't really need a narrative. Those type of games that are geared more towards building communities and keeping that community for that game and keep you playing just that title. That is what I mean. That is what a lot of our shooters are. You got you got Overwatch, you got Call of Duty. Even though Call of Duty is trying to bring back the single player aspect of it again.
Yeah, but if the single player isn't working out, they're okay with dropping that shit to keep the multiplayer in.
Right.
Yeah.
It's more in, exactly. They know that they know they have the multiplayer aspect already. Yeah, the cardheads are gonna continue buying Call of Duty no matter what. So, but a lot of people didn't buy the Call of Duty that didn't have the single player, and therefore they're going after that market again. Hell, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily not foaming on the mouth for a Call of Duty game, but I recognize that those single player games were fun. And if you give me a short, concise story that with a good quality like this one seems to be, like, sure, why not? I could grab it just for that. I don't care about going full multiplayer. I never played a Call of Duty multiplayer game until Warfare, maybe until Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I don't remember. Who cares? So the last one before Warfare. So as a lot of because there's the money. The bottom line is that you can monetize multiplayer games a lot easier than you can single player games. Single player games, they can be monetized. Sure. Yes. We see this everywhere. Mm-hmm. EA is gonna show you how. Ubisoft says hi, by the way. But it's a lot easier to monetize the multiplayer, because with multiplayer, there's the aspect of, oh, look this shit that I got, that I bought it. Oh, that looks cool. Where you got it? Oh, it only cost me $3. Oh, that's nothing. Let me just get the $3, and then someone else comes and says, oh, that looks cool. Where you got that? Oh, I bought it for $3. Oh, that's cool. Let me just get it for $3.
Oh, and shit, is it still $3? It is still $3. And then
it is easy because you're showing it off. You're showing off the goods. On a single player game, it's a little bit more difficult, but the companies continue to try. Um, but I feel that's one of the main reasons why these games are like going towards the. I mean, hell, even the games as service,
Oh
that
God,
type.
yeah.
Those games as service. I mean, God bless them, they try, but the delivery of the narrative in these are piss poor.
Oh, bare
I think
bones,
I think
absolutely.
with maybe Destiny's the exception.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
now,
Now that they're not under anyone, yeah, doing their own thing.
right? Well, no, they're on the Sony now. So,
Well, yeah, but I'm
um,
saying during it got good when they were not under anybody.
the Activision.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Let's say
yeah.
it was good. It got good when they were no longer on the Activision. But no, but it, again, very few exceptions. For the most part, I mean, I fucking love the Division too. All right, I'm sorry, and I'm gonna apologize for it because yes, I feel almost guilty because it's your most quintessential Ubisoft game that you can ever Ubisoft. However, the narrative or the story in the narrative in that game it's just
I could
nonsense.
not tell you. Yeah,
You can't tell what it's about. I mean, there's a lore,
there is,
but
as
there's
with most of
nothing
these. Yeah.
interesting on it because that's not about that. It's almost like the developers like on purpose. They don't want you to get on focus from maybe the store or whatnot, or keep you engaged in some other ways because they ain't doing it with this, with the story.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, I can tell you right now, I have no clue. I couldn't tell you what was going on when we were playing. I was like, nope, don't remember, because it
No,
was that disconnected. You know what I mean from everything, and it tried, right. It tried to put something in there. It was like, but yeah, but it's no. Might as well just not, because
you
you're
can argue
wasting
that.
time. Yeah,
You can argue that. A lot of games. There's a lot of people who say there's a lot of single player games or games. There's a lot of games that have that have narrative, and those include, you know, uh, multiplayer games or gas games or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, maybe, but are there many to the quality of like well told stories, or are
nope.
they just
Yeah.
game stories? When I feel like I don't know what to call them better, but sometimes a lot of games just try to justify a gameplay aspect in the story, and it just what it's really doing is making you realize that this is so flimsy like nonsense
Mhm.
that they just put it for gameplay, and that's fair because gameplay is king. I get that. However, how come other companies can actually nail it? I mean, look at what Square Enix is doing with Final Fantasy 14. It's kind of insane.
Yeah.
Delivering
Yeah.
very solid narratives on an MMO RPG, no less. Like, who would have thought that was possible? And you have your, I don't know, you have some great stories like anything Naughty Dog, fucking Insomniac with Spider-Man. They just like threw it out of the park. And then you might have your, TV straight to TV stories, which are entertaining but not like superb in any way, but they're still entertaining. Like I don't know, like Jedi Fallen Order was entertaining. Was it like incredible? Like, no, those incredible stories are saved for very special titles, very special games that have those like riveting storylines. One thing I was loving about about Sony, and I still do, but I feel like they're kind of losing their vision
their
a
way
little
on
bit.
it. Yeah.
thanks to this new fellow, is the delivery of powerful single player storylines. I mean, say what you will about. I mean, I even say that the story of a game like Horizon it's not working for me, but I don't necessarily mean that the narrative is bad. At the end of the day, it is giving a thought provoking. Well, maybe not thought provoking might be an exaggeration, but it is an interesting concept. It
Yeah.
is an interesting concept, of this tribal communities, living in a world where machines are actually nature is basically controlled by machines. And it's kind of crazy. It's kind of cool, right?
Mhm.
Say nothing about the Uncharted and Last of Us and Spider-Man and Mike Morales, and all those titles that and Ratchet and Clank, all those titles that were heavily focused on let me just tell you a good story. It was like I was appreciating that a whole lot, because you could tell they were legitimate. Because another thing you didn't find was fucking stores trying to sell you shit.
Right.
On they were not trying to
Some
force anything.
microtransaction, whatever, to
Right.
get a new whatever. Yep.
Exactly. Fucking God of War never gave me a
Oh,
fucking
dude, that was such a
microtransaction
good one
for
too.
yeah, nothing. There was just pure deliveries. It was awesome, and I'm a little concerned, under this new leadership. But and that's what I'm talking about when I'm referring to meaningful single players stories, not the story of I don't know. Well, I used the example of the Division Two. I might as well drive that horse to the ground. The Division Two was one where there is a
Is there?
story.
I was gonna say
Like, who
because
cares? But
yeah,
there is a story. I mean, even Halo used to give me this type of stories that I was like, okay, I'm interested in what's gonna happen, and I feel like now they actually feel like fillers. I feel
Mhm.
like, oh, this is just setting you up so you can do whatever, so you can do whatever in this world, but in reality, it's like it's flimsy. It's very
Yeah,
flimsy. Gears of War has more story than Halo. Better narrative than Halo.
yeah, but
Uh,
it says a lot when that's Xbox's flagship essentially,
Right.
and
Yeah. It was
these are
that.
their
It was
choices.
the
Yeah,
point I was trying to make of why I appreciated the Sony efforts more because they were catering to the things that I like. Xbox was catering towards that younger generation that I was mentioning of players where they just want to play a game. They're not interested on getting a story told to them,
yeah.
like we are. They just want to. I don't know. They
We're a
just want
dying
to shoot
breed,
people in
bro.
the head.
We're a dying breed. That's what it is at this point.
Yeah,
As far
yeah.
as gaming goes, we're the
But
dying breed in gaming.
but every now and then you get something that is like that handed, like fucking Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy was a phenomenal
Yeah,
gameplay wise and also a great story, but then no one buys it.
yeah. And I was gonna say that speaks that
We are
speaks
sending the
volumes. Yeah.
message to
Hmm.
the publishers that single player games don't matter. That we rather just take the talent that could have made another like incredible single player experience, and let's just put them to make a multiplayer shooter
Yeah.
like they did with fucking Remedy. I don't remember the name of the game because no one does because the game came and went and no one gave a
Yeah.
fuck.
Which is what's gonna happen with a lot of these. Unfortunately, a lot of these service titles that they're looking to shove down our throats at this point. But I
Hell, look
agree.
at Death Stranding. Somehow Death Stranding kept me going because
I know.
it was so
That's
weird
that's
and
just
fucked up. But
that there is still an anomaly to this
we
day.
have a
But yeah,
legendary, no, right? But it's only only Kojima can pull something like that off and keep us
Well,
engaged. 'Cause
that's
I was
because
engaged the
he
whole
is
time.
exactly. That's because he is a storyteller. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
he knows how to just dole out the story in a certain way, even if it's convoluted and crazy, and then suddenly you're just
Nonsensical and
in. Yeah,
stupid
you
in
know what I
some
mean?
areas and
Yeah,
really
it's like
stupid in some others. And
yeah,
but
it's just like that man is a genius, and he's rare. You know, and he's
yeah,
rare. We don't have a lot of those, which is why he sticks out on his own.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I agree. It feels like they're moving away from it for a reason. And like you said, once these narrative games are not making money, there's very little reason for them to
They're
continue
not.
doing them. You know what I mean?
They're not.
Because
They require hiring a lot. A bunch of talent to deliver. To
Mhm,
deliver their lines, which is costly. They have a short shelf life.
mhm.
Um,
Sure, they can get awards, but awards don't make money.
right. Exactly. They could get. They can sell. They can sell. A lot, but it's not gonna compare to. I They're not going to compare it to those titles that have multiple ways that they can actually monetize properly.
Mhm.
I love back in the day when monetization of a single player game was an expansion, and they call it that, an
Yeah,
expansion.
expansion.
Diablo 2 had an expansion.
The
It
Witcher 3
Diablo 3
had
had
two
The Witcher
wonderful
3 had
expansions. Yeah.
two expansions. Yes, Mass Effect had
Wonderful.
expansions.
Yes. And I would argue that the 10-hour Heart of Stone may be the best narrative in that
And I need
in
to
the
play
entire
that
thing.
shit.
Yeah.
Yes, and I actually need to experience that the same way that I need to experience The Last of Us uh
Part 2. Okay.
part no, not
Or Left
part 2.
Behind.
Left Behind,
Yes, yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
the same way that I need to still experience those, because they gave it it's a they it's a shorter experience, so I feel like they have a better chance to
More of
condense
impact. They make more
it
impact. Yeah.
more meaningful and impactful. Exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. But hell, look at they don't they know they don't need to be like super giant games. Just look at
No.
super giant games. You see
Nice.
what I did there.
Well done. Well, shit, I was gonna go with an even smaller one, but go ahead. You can use that one.
No, I'm thinking about games like fucking like Transistor. I'm thinking about games like
Fire.
Hades,
Yeah. But
uh
Hades. Yep.
Higher.
These are
Yeah.
all really these are all very narrative based
What was the first one?
games.
The first one is the one that literally had a narrator.
What the hell was it called? My God.
For,
Bastion.
Bastion. Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
call it Fortnite almost. Yes, Bastion. It literally had a narrator. If you wanted a narrator saying what you were doing, God, that game was fantastic.
At any point, yeah. But I was going to
Uh,
go something smaller because they don't always have to be that, not that this is not well made, but it don't have to be that extravagant. To the Moon. It's a
to the
narrative, a story
moon.
that you were praising for the longest time. I finally got around to it. And I'm like, heck yeah, this was really good.
To
This
the
was
moon. To
a
the moon is more niche
2 hour
because
wonderful time.
I feel like To the Moon is more more interactive story than a game. It's almost like it's disguised as a game, but in reality,
Mhm.
it's an interactive story. That you're just going through on what appears to be a game.
Yeah,
Oh my god, that's the
that's a good
story
one.
of that
Yeah, that's a
game.
good one.
That's
That's
a
a very
good
good one.
one. It's a good one. You guys need to check that out. Um, but yeah, it, I don't necessarily. I'm not in the camp that single player games are that we're not longer getting them, because we are still getting
Oh
them.
no,
It's
we
just
are. Yeah,
is
but yeah, but will the emphasis on the narrative be as strong when it's
right.
like maybe we can get by with something that's half-assed?
Yeah, they're gonna be
And
less and less
yeah,
when.
because again, you mentioned, yeah, you know, you got to voice actors that cost money. You got to, there's a lot of things involved, and it's like eventually it's just like, how worth it is this?
Yeah.
Motion capture, right? If you're doing a whole full 3D, you know, it's like, fuck yeah, that's
Can I
gonna be
make
something.
can I make a game that is can I make a game that it's like award-winning story, a storyline, and you just beat in like, let's say 6 or 7 hours, and then that's it. You don't interact with it anymore. So therefore, the time that is going to be on people's head is going to be shorter. Which, once those initial sales go out, what's the rest? It's going to be, I mean, maybe word of mouth, but sometimes you have to be reduced pricing.
Exactly. I was gonna say their prices reduced. Yeah.
Or can I make a game that it's meant to that is built to have player continue, have player engage, not just playing the game continuously, but maybe also engage in our store where we can be selling very low transaction. What's a good word for that? Let's call them mini transaction. No, actually, we're gonna make it smaller.
Very small, very small.
Maybe microtransactions.
Yeah,
we can have
and we can get them
transaction
into the door a lot faster because let's make it free to play. Why not?
Yeah. Actually, I got one better. I got one better. This is I'm gonna become CEO of this company with this idea. Let's call them microtransactions, but they're not really micro.
Yeah, that sounds very Bethesda of you.
Well,
and Bethesda got acquired by Microsoft.
Funny that you mentioned. Yeah. Funny that you mentioned, because microtransactions would have, microtransactions as we know would have not existed the way we know them if it wasn't for Bethesda. Yes, guys, Bethesda is the mother and the father, because it's asexual. The mother and the father of microtransactions is Bethesda, because you guys remember, your games, your game history. They're the ones that deliver horse armor for $3 or $2.50, whatever the price, conversion, or 300 Microsoft space bucks. If you guys remember, yes. They were the first ones. The first time that the microtransaction word got mentioned was on an Xbox meeting, somewhere the 360 was being built. But the first company, the first game to deliver that fucking cancer was the Elder Scrolls Oblivion.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Bethesda, for bringing this, and then of course by doing so, getting acquired, and just
exactly. At that time it was a marriage, man. Yeah. You know what? The idea, the reason. So Fallout 4 was it, or which one was it? Or Skyrim? They never worked on PS3, right?
Nope.
But it was the reason for that is because they were considering selling you the DLC that will allow you
the fix that will allow for it. Yeah.
And they were like, well, screw you guys.
Yeah. Well, I guess you're not going to get a fix.
I guess you're not getting a fix. Enjoy your memory leak.
Yeah. Oh, my God. The stupid ass memory leak. All right. Good stuff, guys. Really real quick, I wanted to just throw out there another narrative game that I think you should come around to eventually, sir, and just jump on it. And of course, it's Until Dawn, bro. Until Dawn is literally $3.
I haven't played Too Human. I own Until Dawn.
Yeah, and you have Detroit Become Human as well, and you still don't. You still, oh god.
Yeah.
And then you go, I got a thing to play. I
know. I am a special specimen. I mean, here you see me, killing monitors and TVs left and right. It's like I don't
You're actually anti-gaming, aren't you? You're just anti-gaming, just under the guise of a gamer.
I just yes. I collect all the games because I want to break them. I want to
destroy them all. That's how I get it.
All
right, guys. Well, thanks so much for tuning in. As always, guys, make sure you go to goodgame.rocks. Join the conversation there. I feel like I have not said this today, but you must have said it earlier because we went into it. That's fine. Go to goodgame.rocks. Join the conversation there. And of course, please like, subscribe, share the podcast with everyone.
I didn't say like that though.
Oh.
I said a little bit.
Oh, you still okay. Well, anyway, this is Mad Dog signing off this week. Mr. Dream Twister. Take us home.
I hate this fucking scratch on the TV. You know what? The first person that listens to this and send me a message, I might consider just giving you the TV.
just to get it out of this house.
I don't fucking deliver. You'll have to pick it up, and I'll have to be in the mood to say yes, or you can get me drunk.
So oh wow. So what you're saying is that you're not going to get online after this because you're done. You're done with that TV.
Oh God, I hate yeah. I'm still not aware of the face that I should actually go and have a good time. I'm gonna drown my sorrows right now.
I understand the feelings.
Let me see, my wife is awake so I can watch the last episode.
Oh, do it.
Let me see.
Do it. Anyway, we'll see you next week. Oh, there was a quick delay there. I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, did he walk away?